Hello, everyone. Welcome to MinusOneCHarisma, the second best Dungeons & Dragons stream on the internet. We are here on our last Tuesday. What does that mean?
Yes.
With a very heavy heart,
MinusOneCHarisma
will be saying
TPK.
goodbye to Tuesdays. Hello, Mondays.
Monday.
Monday.
Same bat time, new bat channel. No?
Same
New bat day?
bat time.
Don't listen to me.
Different.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
We'll be right back after this.
A brief history of the Elven War from the annals of the Commission in Capital City. Some 50 or so years ago, Capital City's Commission forces, under the leadership of Prime Sentinel Jastrick Dayton, marched upon the city of Morgana in a feud against the chaotic Elven people. Eleazar the Deathless, before his seclusion several hundred years past, had decreed that all living beings submit in totality to the goddess Mayan and her teachings of a lawful world. Well, with the threat of Eleazar himself now in question, world leaders began to openly defy the Church of the Goddess Mayan. The first of which was the free city of Adgarad, followed quickly by the matriarch of the Elven people, Cridolin Mor Zeltana. After her public denouncement, Prime Sentinel Dayton declared war on Elven people and within the air marched upon them in their home city of Morgana. Despite being outnumbered 10 to 1, the Elven people, using their blasphemous magics, held out for nearly a year's time before the Righteous Commission forces found their inevitable victory, once again bringing the Elven people under the salvation of the goddess Mayan. In restitution, the daughter of the matriarch Zeltana, named Lexatrea, was moved to the capital city, a symbol of the elves' surrender and defeat. Captain and shining star of the Elven War, Jonathan Gathrin, succeeded Prime Sentinel Dayton after his honorable retirement. Prime Sentinel Gathrin, shortly after, was chosen for the seat of Viceroy of Alcazar and later Grand Viceroy of Capital City. Not many are still alive from the Elven War, and thus this history of elven treachery and holy righteousness is passed on to you. May you stand with the law.
I'll give it a listen later, too.
I
Smoke,
listen to every.
blankets, the eastern skies, swirling into angry plumes. The salt district of Caravella Town is now an inferno, fighting against the veil of night. As you head north towards Top Bottom, the road becomes hilly and rugged, marked by large stones and shallow vales. Deep shadows blanket the landscape, highlighted by intermittent bursts of flame light. You lead the cart through the hills with the unnamed mule at its head. Cornelia and Trust, you both ride along swiftly on two bouncy mops, excited to be out in the open plains and into the night. And that's where we begin this week. You guys are heading towards Top Bottom to try and circumvent. You guys are kind of making a curve, trying to circumvent all that craziness that's happening in Caravella Town right now. And it's the middle of the night, and who's leading the mule right now?
It'd probably be me.
Kawai?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a survival check.
Are
Wow,
we on the
just
coast? Or?
Starting with rolls. Yeah, how close to the coast are we still?
We're in the
no,
plains.
we're not.
I
We're in
literally
the
said plains
Oh,
in the
no.
intro.
You did.
We
Coastal-
covered this so you wouldn't ask.
The
Are
coastal
we on the
plains.
edge of the plains, next to the coast?
That's a survival. That's a 19.
A 19. So you're traveling, and it's very, very difficult at night to see. And the cart you're not on a road per se, so it's tough to wind around, but you manage pretty easily to spot all the kind of ruts and rocks and things that would damage the cart. And you guys wind around, and maybe it takes 3 or 4 hours of walking when you start to see lights off in the distance spread pretty far, and you see like rolling farmland. A lot of the hills here have been terraformed a little bit just to fit rows and rows of crops and such, and you see that kind of moving off out into the distance, a little bit to the east of you. This is probably the town top bottom that they had talked about. What are you guys gonna do?
Is it
think we're
possible
just-
to? Do we have to like go through the town, or is it possible to like just go around the town?
Yeah, the town looks vastly spread out. The lights in front of you, you can see off in the distance. There's only a few. It looks like there's a little confluence of two roads just crossing, and there's maybe 4 buildings that might be the center of town, and everything else is just sprawled out farmland. So you could easily circumvent this little area.
Yeah,
just
because
going
I'm gonna
around
talk
it.
to the group and say, I think it might be best to not go through, only because I have a feeling that Hoaxes is following Pup specifically, and I don't want any more collateral damage. Is that okay if everybody else, or do you want to go through the town? I don't want to stop you from going to the town if you want to really badly, but it's just my gut feeling on it.
Oh, well, we have all our stuff, right? I mean, we've already got provisions. No need to stop.
All right.
Wait. If he's following me, then I should be going in a different direction than you guys, so that you're not.
No.
No, we can handle them. We've done it before.
Uh,
We just don't want to hurt any more innocent people.
Did we?
We did better than the townsfolk.
We're
Pup,
here, aren't we?
after,
That
after
doesn't.
this,
That's not saying a lot.
No. But we
After you've
signed
been
up for
kidnapped.
this. They didn't.
yes,
No.
exactly. We signed up for this. We're not gonna leave your side. We just got you back. So I'm not.
You didn't
no.
sign up for this because you guys didn't know. So how could you have signed up?
Well, you didn't know either. We're not going to just abandon you.
Yeah, no, we're a family. We signed an invisible contract saying we stick together no matter what. So that's the deal. Yeah.
Okay,
We exchanged friendship coins.
we did do that. That's true. Wait, is that why you exchange friendship coins to make sure that like when other people are gonna die, they don't die? I mean, all those other people we needed to be protecting who we gave friendship coins to?
No.
That's a lot of people that we are responsible for.
All right. Cornelia, that's all you. You did that one.
Yeah.
Truck.
Well, That would drive me crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Trust, give me an animal handling check.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Ooh. That is a dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah, throughout this last couple hours that you've been riding along, your little pupper deviates quite often whenever there's a sound or there's a smell, but you manage to intuitively you feel those reins kind of pulling. You're like, no, and only maybe once or twice did he stop and just sniff a little bit, but you managed to get him back on track.
Right.
He seems pretty distractible. Cornelia, also roll me a... Oh, shouldn't have it. Cornelia, roll me a d20. And add animal handling. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. No. We're playing. It's game time.
11.
An 11. Yeah, you kind of just let your mount do whatever, and for the most part, he stays with the pack. Doesn't really give you any flack, but it's not really like you were steering him. He's just kind of going where he wants to go. All right, you guys head east, just south of the center of town of Top Bottom, heading way off and in the distance, backlit by this huge skylight. You can see these massive black hills with tall spires. These hills are a little interesting because as you're farther and farther east, you can see that these hills have, almost at their points, they have another 100 to 150 foot spires that just come out of the tips of these mountains. They're these huge, almost black rolling hills, and you can see them way off in the distance. And for anyone, especially Kelwise, you've been along the coast, you can tell that they're very far away, so being able to see their peaks from this far they might be 3 or 4 times bigger than the hills that you're used to on the Oxnard coast back where you guys came from. Same with you, Pop. The Pottsonshire Forest is right up against the Rodaman Mountains that you guys kind of inhabit, and these mountains are maybe twice as tall as those from a distance.
And most importantly, good weather. Very clear out.
Yeah, and it's very clear, with the exception of there's just big black billowing plumes to the south of you.
Oh,
With
right.
that
Okay.
exception. Yeah,
Yeah,
that exception. And you guys managed to head east. Those mountains, you guys travel for miles and miles and miles, and those hills just don't ever seem to be getting any closer. Just with how big they are, it seems like a long trek. It's going to be a while. You guys kind of move east through the plains. You see a few more farm plots out to the east of you, and then just the hills start to roll, and you notice that there's more trees here. Large, almost pine-like trees, redwoods, and other trees that are a little bit shorter. But there's a lot of those, and those just start to branch out, and you notice that it's the very outskirts of a forest. And just as you guys hit there, the sun starts to pop up. You've been traveling basically all night to get here. Most of you exhausted because you traveled a long ways to the west. Now you backtracked north to the east. You've been traveling for maybe 12 hours straight on your feet as the sun starts to pop up. And as that sun starts to light your area, you start to see this huge, huge forest well before, maybe 20 or 30 miles deep before it even gets to the beginnings of those mountain chains. And then even another 20 miles after that, after these giant black rocks start jutting up from the ground, which you assume is the Darthwood.
So we're there.
So you're kind of on the outskirts, yeah. You can kind of see it off in the distance. A little bit.
Right.
Well.
So it's either really scary inside, or it's a load of hooey and there's something someone's trying to keep secret with scary stories.
Or maybe a little bit of both.
Does
Which would
anyone
be most worrisome.
Most good stories have a little bit of both.
They do.
It's wise,
They
Kel,
do.
wise, wise.
It's true. It's true.
Is that why your name is Kel Wise?
No,
Oh.
it's not.
Could have gone with that
completely-
one, mate. Could have just gone with that one.
Yeah, my parents gave me that name before they knew, really. I mean, you know.
What if they knew? Who says they didn't?
What if they did know? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, most importantly, I think we should go in with a degree of caution, no matter what we do. So, Dresden would normally tell us this is where we try to stay quiet, maybe hide our numbers, sort of thing. Maybe we can use the cart. We have these tarps left over, these sand-colored tarps from back a long time ago. Maybe we can kind of, make it seem like there's less of us than there actually are.
So us laying down in the cart with the tarps over us?
Yeah, maybe.
I will happily take a nap in the wagon with Thunderwave.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that no one else will fit.
Maybe Tiny Toes there.
is this
Maybe.
like
Yeah, maybe on top.
haunted or something? Do we see other creatures? Do we see any animals going in and out of the forest right now?
You don't really see any animals, but you do hear quite a bit of birds and insect life, especially since it's early morning. There's quite a bit of wildlife, at least around you, even if you don't see anything specifically.
I mean, now that we're closer, Pop, can you do a smell check?
Yeah.
Your friends were saying that they could smell death in these woods. Can you smell death right now?
Give me a
Dice roll.
perception.
I don't know, do I? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
15.
At 15, you start smelling around and something, a little bit of decay does reach your nose. And you start to follow it around and follow it around, and it's mixed with something else, something much stronger. It's almost off-putting at first, and then you look and you find the bones of some small animal, maybe a rabbit, that have been just chewed through, and the worms are now finishing the rest of this meal. And right next to it is this big, huge poopy. Massive.
Yeah, I like smell some I found this dead rabbit thing over here. And
All
also
right.
I found a big pile of poopy.
Them seems like normal forest-like things.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell whether it's like a spooky poopy or if it's just like a normal one. I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, is it like so large it looks like it could be from a creature we've never seen before?
Yeah, like what's the diameter? Is it like several feet? Because if it
Again,
was like several feet,
I only know to 5, so you might be asking the wrong person.
well, you
I'll
can.
you
just like
can
around this
give
poop,
us a-
just like examining it, just
Yeah,
measuring.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
What's
about-
what are we dealing with?
It's maybe the diameter of your wrist.
oh,
Oh.
It's
But
like this.
it's in a big pile.
oh, well, that doesn't seem too bad.
No.
I mean, you know, you figure the bigger the creature, the bigger the, yeah, you get it.
Poopy.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Okay.
I mean,
well, while
so
we're-
it seems, as of now, upon our inspection of the out forest, it's
Kind of just feels
pretty
like a forest
normal.
a little bit.
all right.
You guys
That's
want me to
good.
check ahead a little bit and come back? I can climb the trees and jump from the trees and then come back and report what I see.
I'm not really. It doesn't seem that dangerous. I mean,
No.
just proceed with caution and.
Yeah, if we,
yeah,
if
just
we
be
want to like go in a
careful.
direction, I can go ahead of you guys just like a little bit and I could be in the trees and stuff.
All right.
And then
Yeah,
I
that's
could be
okay.
relaying back to Rez with my
Yep. On my Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. And your ox, your mule starts to heave and hoe. I mean, your mule has been traveling for about 12 hours straight, pulling this cart.
I agree,
Oh.
Mule.
And
I want
it-
to take a rest too, personally.
It kind of looks around like, please, please
Yeah.
make the pain stop. Just a
I
little
got you,
bit.
buddy. I
Yeah.
pat the mule a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna be friends. Mule with no name. Let's take a little rest for a little while. The mule could use it. We could all probably use it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can all use
no.
it. Yeah.
So you unhook the
Um,
mule. You guys kind of set out your stuff, make camp at the end of this forest. Pup, did you want to go kind of look around the forest?
Yeah, if possible, I'd like to like climb a tree
Okay.
and like pop my head up above the leaves if possible, or like look around to see if I can get like some distance vision, get some
Okay.
range
Yeah,
on the situation.
give me a stealth check and a perception check.
Okay. Stealth is an 18.
All right.
Perception is a 13.
Okay, so you climb the trees, and you're pretty quiet when you do this, not to disturb anything, and you get a good vantage point, and you're looking out, and you see something in the forest, pretty far off. It's hard to see, but you see something moving in the forest, and it's like, it's hard to hear, but you hear like this deep, almost thudding sound, and you see like a single tree in the forest just kind of go, "Bong." And then another tree near it go, "Bong," like maybe a half mile away.
And do I see what's doing this at all?
And you can't see what's doing it, but you do see the tree shaking quite a bit. And anytime a tree shakes, you see birds kind of fly up out of that
Yeah.
area and fly to a new tree.
Got it. I go back down and
Just so you guys know, there's some trees shaking quite a bit away out, but like maybe not that far out, but like still like far enough out. The trees are just like going yoing. But I can't tell what's doing it, so
Like
just
wind?
a warning. I don't think wind can make a tree go yoing.
Just one at a time?
Yeah.
Oh. in like an order
Yeah. Yeah?
or consecutive?
Yeah, they seem
Whatever.
pretty grouped together.
Yeah, they seem pretty grouped together.
And coming this way towards us, or
They weren't really moving. It was like just kind of one little grouping of trees in an area.
oh.
Well, maybe we
Right.
avoid that area. If we can pay attention to what direction that was, maybe we'll go around that. That seems, I don't know. That seems questionable. What would do that?
Seems-
That's really weird.
I don't know.
Were they big trees? Like really big trees?
Well,
I
these are
think-
like redwoods. Yeah, these are very tall
Oh.
trees.
No,
Ooh,
And,
boy, something that could
something big.
push a tree
Make
that
something
large.
this big. Do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stay away from that. Definitely.
Or maybe it's a natural phenomenon. Either way, yeah, let's stay away from it. It seems like bad news.
Unless, shouldn't we be like going towards bad news if we're here? Like if we're trying to find something, wouldn't it be the thing? You know?
We're trying to find the
Ugh.
good things, not the bad things.
Do you think it's a
What if-
something that we're looking for?
Or
I don't know.
What
Were
we're
we
looking
ever
for.
told to look for someone, or were we just told to
Yeah.
go to the Darthwoods? I don't remember.
Well, we're meeting
Well,
up with
we're-
your friend with the Dresden with the scar,
Yeah.
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
The dark one, supposedly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Who
So-
might command an army of dead people, or might not. I don't know.
Sounds
find
to
out.
me like if we step foot in here, he'll find out about it and come get us, right?
I will also say, I feel like using the term friend is kind of being used loosely here. I don't know if he's my friend. He just knew my name and
Okay.
he told me to come here. And he looked like Dresden, so that was weird. But I don't know who he is. So,
Yeah. No, that's good. He's not gold level. He's like silver right now or bronze. Okay, great.
what
great,
is
great.
that?
Well, your friendship coins are gold, silver are acquaintances, and then bronze are strangers. I believe that was
Is
the.
that what all these different colors are?
Oh,
Whoa.
yes.
I'm
That
like
one-
I'm like loaded, you guys. I'm
Damn.
like loaded.
I
Is
didn't
all these
see
different
that.
colors are?
This is dripping in money.
Yeah, that's why I was like, please let me pay for this carriage. That was Kate making that decision.
Well, yes. I want to just put that away, Cornelia. Your eyes you just need to calm down.
Like, these are a
those are-
handful
Look
already.
away.
Do you need another handful? Like, you need a
No.
handful.
Take it
No,
away,
no.
Deb.
No? Okay.
Well, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss that later.
I've never seen Cornelia make that face before. It's really weird.
It was pretty crazy. That was that was a lot.
That was difficult.
It seemed difficult. You looked like you were having a hard time.
That's what friendship's about.
Are you sweating?
Yeah.
Okay. Seem a little kind of glistening.
It looks nice.
Yeah,
It looks lovely.
pretty. I should show you my money all the time. This is a nice look.
All right, so you guys settle
Just
down.
nervous laughter.
I was like blush a little.
You guys, what are you guys doing? Are you guys gonna camp out for the morning? It's maybe
Well, it is the morning, right?
5 o'clock. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock ish. So you'd probably need to camp out around till maybe noonish to get a full rest.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm fine
nice.
With that.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
It's a long day.
You guys hunker down, and it's been a very long day. I mean, this is still the same day-ish, same 24-hour period that you broke Pup out of the ship, and you landed in Caravella Town and
It's
had all
sleepy
those
time.
interesting interactions with the men and women of the night in Caravella Town.
And then they all died.
Well, you saw quite a bit. There was quite a bit of flame and
Chips.
fire coming from the Salt District, but the city on the whole was still intact. It wasn't like the entire city was aflame. It was just, a big
So
portion
far.
of the district. Yeah.
Like, what percentage of it is just like
Yeah, I mean,
Probably-
do they have like a functioning fire department? I mean, what's going to put the fires out?
Probably only
right?
like 5 to 10% from what you could see of the city was actually even damaged.
Okay, good.
So
I mean, not good, but like good.
And the salt district was by the ships, right? By the
the
docks.
salt district was
good.
that whole
Not good.
dock area on the west coast. It basically was the all the docks and the ships and a lot of those warehouses.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, if we're gonna kind of just take a long rest, I haven't done this in a long time, Jaymes. I have one of the Tome of Four. We have two of the four, I guess. I want to
Okay.
look at the one that I got from the bourgeois place. It's been so long because I've been so busy,
Okay.
but I want to look at that for a little while.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Are these books that only wizards can read?
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
It was kind of like coded. It's
It was in a language that he had never seen before, right? It was in like an
yes.
old.
Yes.
It was like similar to the Elven script, but much older.
Exactly. I got a 15.
A 15. So you start looking through these books, and obviously these books are connected. They're in the same script. That one just had that little, almost diary entry in the beginning of it that talked about taking power and not letting anyone else stand in your way, and how the true mages who seek power don't let anything stop them. You just go for it. The second book you found that Seafloor was trying to acquire doesn't have any inscriptions or anything in it. It's just pages and pages of this old script, and you can tell by the way it's put together, you think it's some sort of incantation of sorts. Maybe it's a prayer, but it just seems like the types of ink and stuff. You see that there's just the wizard inside of you who's been writing these scripts and scrolls and such for so long notices that just the way that you write and in the manner in which you would compile these things just seems like some sort of mage or magic user would have written this.
Okay.
But that's really
cool.
all you
Okay,
can
so yeah.
discern from it.
Great. Yeah, I'll just keep studying until we have to leave. But cool. Yeah, it's been a long time, so I want to get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Can I have like snuck behind him and be like looking at it over his
Sure.
shoulder?
Roll me a charisma check. Just straight charisma.
Charisma check.
Sorry, there's a fly in here driving me insane. Oh, charisma, where are you? Well, I rolled a 19 plus whatever my charisma is.
Okay. Trust, you're looking at this book,
Plus amount.
and you're just looking at the script itself, and there's a bunch of letters that you don't understand, and you've maybe seen the Elven alphabet once or twice, so it kind of looks like that, and Reza could probably tell you that it's kind of like an older version, like an ancient Elven, if you will. But you start to notice, you get like a feeling, Trust, that the letters themselves are almost telling a partial story. There's something about the way that they're written, almost an intent in the writer with the different letters and stuff, and you get just this sense of delicate awe, almost inspiration, that the person who wrote this with such care almost had such a reverence for what they were writing that you just get this weird sense that it's just something bigger and more grandiose than a mere magical spell or incantation or prayer, almost as if it's in devotion to something.
Okay. But does it feel almost like you say devotion to something like a religious text? Like,
Hard to tell.
okay.
You can't really tell if it's religious or not, but that same reverence that you've seen, because you grew up similarly close to the church, Grand Church of the Lady Mayan, which is in the Gaslight District, or the Lamplight District. And you've seen the followers of Mayan, and some of those people are zealots. They are intense. Those are the people you probably try to avoid on your daily walks. But this is written with that same almost fanaticism of intent, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I'll relay that information to Rezik, because it seems like if it's something like that, these could be books to unleash an unspeakable horror or a god.
Yeah, because I'm going through it and I'm reading, and then I see you, and I'm just like, oh, I mean, this is obviously some sort of spell that someone was scribbling down here and trying
And
to
then
work
I
on.
school his
That's all it is.
Actually.
Oh, unspeakable horror.
Actually.
Actually,
I
I said that to my parents when I was 3, and they won't let me forget
Technically? Oh my god, really?
it. Yeah.
That's incredible.
They tell the story all the time. Well, actually. Yeah.
You know your parents just
Yeah, I'll tell Rezik that, yeah, it seems like it is some sort of written by some sort of zealot, and it's worshipping something. Maybe it's for a bigger purpose. I mean, you said there's 4 of them, right? So just be careful. It might summon things, and we don't know what kind.
How did you get that? Wow, it's good to have someone else's eyes on this. I didn't even see that at all. Okay, yeah, no, I'll be very careful with this. I know that Captain Seafloor did say it was some kind of thing involving the gods, so maybe you're right. I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Trust.
Did he ever mention who, like, if he was religious? I don't remember.
He didn't mention that. I think it was more of just wanted to sell it on the black market or something, or I don't
that
know,
makes
use
sense.
it, but yeah.
Sounds
thank
more
you.
seafloorish.
It does.
You're
It does
welcome.
indeed.
And
I'll
I will,
keep that in my
walk
notes.
away, like, whistling. Just like, do, go back to my dog.
Wow. Impressive. Goodness. All right. Let's go back to my work.
So you guys spend about 8 hours hanging out, snoozing, playing with your dogs, and noontime comes around and you guys start to feel pretty rested. The unnamed mule gets a full rest. Everyone, you guys seem pretty good. The sun is now high in the sky, and it's really lighting up those mountains. And the mountains now are more of a gray, almost slate color. And those big spires that were shooting up into the air that were black at night, they're this dark gray, almost black, but different from the hills that were around Capital City. Those hills were dark black and had made those black sand beaches, where these hills are more of a slate gray. And as you look at the spires almost look sharp a bit, almost like a crystalline spires coming up with those really sharp and smooth edges. Almost
Do
like
they at all-
flint.
Do they at all look like they're not that the peaks themselves are man-made, but that perhaps like man-made structures have been added to it? The way you
Does it
describe
seem
it, I just
unnatural
keep
at all?
thinking of like the La Familia Sagria in Spain, the
No.
spire.
No,
I
it
said that. I
looks-
butchered the name. I'm sorry.
Everything looks pretty natural. Nothing looks tampered
Okay,
with
it
or
looks all
man-made.
natural, okay.
And I'll as we're going along, I'm just gonna cast once in a while. Cast a ritual of detect magic, just to kind of look around the area to make sure we're not gonna walk into like anything magically
Yeah, you
bad.
cast that, and nothing really catches your eye. Nothing shines that isn't a part of your own party already. Obviously, Pup has that staff that lights up. Cornelia, your dagger lights up. Cowwise, even your firestock, that little flintlock pistol type weapon lights
Yeah.
up. And Trust's horns definitely light up.
It's where all I keep all my magic.
Cool. All right.
You guys
let's
travel for...
head on in, I suppose. Are we following the path through the Darthwoods? There's a path,
Is there a
presumably. I don't know. Is there a path?
Yeah.
Are we on a
It
path,
doesn't
or is
seem
it like?
there's no roads or
Okay.
paths or anything. You guys have kind of been off the grid for a
Oh.
while
Okay.
now.
So do you guys want to go towards where those trees were doing the thing or away? Because I can lead us in a direction that's either towards or away from that.
I vote away.
I vote away as well.
And then we can creep in on it if we need to. Maybe not too
Yeah.
far away, but
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
idea.
Or like
I think
diet
we-
far away.
Like Pup always kind of is telling me, don't judge a book by their cover. So it could be a big, creature, but not necessarily evil. So maybe we'll have Pup or Cornelia sneak in there and check it out.
yeah, at least we
Uh,
can make sure everything else is safe, the perimeter, before we just get into double trouble.
The student becomes the not student.
All right. Take it
What I'm
easy.
worried about, though, is once we get under the tree cover, navigation is going to become a little bit hard. We're not going to have the sun necessarily to rely on as much. So, how do we think we're going to navigate through this and not go directly toward those trees, or run around in circles, for that matter?
Well, I think isn't there a thing where I've read in books like moss grows on a certain side of a tree? You would know better than me, Kelwise and Pup. I didn't grow up in the forest.
Well, yeah, that's the north side, but I mean,
North side,
practically
okay.
speaking, I'm not sure how much to rely on that. I've seen moss growing on all sides of trees.
Hmm.
I can go up and look again and see if I
You
see
climb a
anything
tree.
new.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. We can
I can
always
just like
How far away?
Well, we
how far
don't-
away is each tree from each other?
Where you're at, they're pretty far away. Maybe
Okay.
the branches touch a little bit here and there, but very
Enough for
quickly,
me to
maybe within
jump
a half.
across.
Well, within a half mile, the forest gets much more dense, and you'd be able to jump from tree to tree. And there's a myriad of other different types of trees, not just those tall ones standing out. It's almost jungle-like. It's very thick forest. It just doesn't have that kind of humidity or anything like that.
Well, hear me out. We don't know where we're going. We don't have a destination. So, do we really need a path? Don't we just wander around until this guy finds us and we find out why we're here? It's already...
Unless
It's
we
a
need to
half-
escape.
It's a half-cocked plan anyway, so...
No, I think
Yeah.
you're probably right. I'll just make sure to mark trees as we go along to make sure we don't totally lose our way.
smart.
And is there a breeze? Maybe just pay attention. What breeze? Has it been blowing north or what? South?
Roll a d20.
you're gonna
6.
mark the tree.
A 6.
No,
It's hard
well,
to tell. There isn't much of a
8.
breeze going on right now, especially since you've left the coast quite a bit. The wind itself has died down a lot, and the trees kind of cut through that breeze.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a good point though, because if you mark the trees with paint, that's gonna be really obvious. I feel like I should mark the trees the way that I mark trees and know how to find trees after I mark them my way.
What does that mean?
Pee on him.
Oh.
But what if we get separated, none of us
Yeah.
can find him?
Yeah, but if someone else that's bad is trying to find us, then they have a bright trail leading right towards us.
Well, I was
What if
thinking less
you-
paint and just more of I just scratch a tree once in a while with a dagger, you know?
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe we should both mark it for safety.
All right.
I just want to make this forest mine.
The same could be said about marking the trees your way. What if that brings other creatures to us? But it's fine. It'll be fine.
I think
you
we just
both mark
needed-
the trees.
No, because my markings are very intimidating and no one else would dare.
Of course. They would never. They would never.
My
All
marks
right,
are
cool.
very brave and handsome, so
Oh, and handsome. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good. All right. Good to know.
Wasn't where you could determine that. But
oh yeah. Have you never sniffed a dog's butt before? You can tell a lot
No.
about them.
I have not.
Oh, I'll teach you one day.
We got 2 right here.
Don't know if I want to
This
start
student's
now.
Not a
really.
student anymore, so I can teach you anything.
Okay. Rezek, mark the trees with the knife, and
Yes, let's do
I'll be
do
fine with
yes.
that.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's.
All right, you guys start to head in. It's a bright day. It's you guys start heading into this. It's a thick forest. It makes
Write your
this
name,
very tightly knit canopy covered. You're basically just small beams of light manage to break through here and there. But once you enter in, Killwise, you find it kind of hard to steer the whole cart through this. So you have to move a little bit slower than normal. You guys are moving maybe at half pace just to make sure that the cart doesn't snag anything or fall into a ditch or something like that. And then the mule doesn't hurt itself.
Ground relatively level. What are we avoiding? Like
the
shrubs.
trees themselves have just huge roots that stick out sometimes. It doesn't seem nearly as hilly here, but with all the different, like, there's fallen over logs and stuff. So it's less of that you have to go through something complex. It's just that trying to go straight is impossible. You kind of have to go around this log, around that stump, up and around these roots and things like that. So it just takes you a little bit. Pup, you're going on ahead, right? Give me another perception check as you kind of scout out ahead.
Reception.
So dropping.
A natural 20 plus
Woo!
2 for
Nice.
Okay. What would you
You
say,
dropping?
Cornelia?
Oh, I'm also just dropping little shells because I picked up shells from the beach too, but they're
Oh, okay, perfect.
just for a breadcrumb situation.
Okay, yeah, so you start dropping shells intermittently. And Pup, you're going on ahead, and you hear, maybe this is maybe 4 or 5 hours into your trek, you start to hear water, running water, that of like a stream of sorts, and you kind of move a little bit in that direction, and maybe another half hour later, you come across not a raging river, but a steadily moving stream, and you notice that the trees have gotten much darker here, but there's this shadowy type figure, this big 4-legged shadowy type figure that seems to be drinking from this river. And you notice there's 3 little figures all around it.
Oh.
And you'd recognize it as like a family, like a mother with her little ones.
The babies.
None of us have ever seen anything quite like this before.
No. Pup's never... This is not
Oh, it's
something
just
that's
Pup.
in the
Okay.
Pups and Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pup's just up in front, looking at these things.
What does it look like? Is it just a?
It's facing away from you right now, and it's just this big mound. And it's got this huge bushy tail. Almost like
Okay.
a rabbit's tail. And
Like-
as this thing moves around, and it's kind of hard because
big
it's
is
in the
it?
dark, and it's maybe the size of a grizzly bear, and it's got this
Okay.
huge mane, almost like a lion's
goodness.
mane.
That's cool. Okay.
And you
I-
observe it for a little while, and you look at the little ones, and some of them have manes and some don't. And you'd probably assume it's probably the male, female. But the one with the mane kind of drinks a little bit. You hear kind of this snorting sound, like a... And you look, and these huge tusks emit from its face, and it has like a boar-like face on it. And Rezek, you and Trust had seen these things in town, and someone had called them like a boxen, and they were just these huge animals that they had been using to pull carts. But they weren't
And they had
nearly
like
as
manes and tails and everything.
yeah, they had these big bushy tails and this
Oh,
thick
okay.
coat of fur and these but you would have known that their tusks were shaved very close to their face. This
Gotcha.
thing's in the pup, the one you're looking at is humongous. And you didn't really see any of these in town because it was late at night. And there's just 3 little ones all drinking from the river. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna interact with it at all, or?
I'm ahead of everyone else, right?
Yes.
I'm going to carefully Go back to them.
You guys. Okay. So like up ahead a little bit, there's some water, which is great. I think maybe probably, I don't know. I think water's probably a good thing. Anyways, there's these
We have a
animals
cart,
there.
It might not be.
Anyways, there's these animals up there that I've never seen before, and they're like these giant pig faces with like little bunny butts, but also like have like a lot of fur and stuff like around their head, only on some of them, and other ones don't. And I've never seen them before, and there's one big one, there's 3 little ones, and I think maybe should I go offer them some honey and see if they want to be friends?
They look mean.
Oh, those sound like boxing. I've seen a few in town. They probably don't want to bother a wild animal if it's with its kids.
Well, what if we could be friends?
Do we need new friends right now?
Yeah, we could take all the friends we could get.
Why don't we stay here and you go make friends?
Okay.
Sprint. Freaking
Oh.
beeline.
Okay, you sprint over and
Yeah, but once I get close, as to not like literally sprint up on them, I'm gonna like slow down and like, okay. Some dirt on me. Okay.
And you go back into the area, and you see they've moved on somewhere, with the exception of one. There's one of the little ones just kind of sniffing the ground and digging up stuff, and then it looks over to the tree, lowers its head, and just goes, poof, and then just kind of dizzily stands back, shakes its head, blinks, then backs up a little bit, like this very impetuous look on its face, and then hits this tree. And it's not huge. I mean, this thing's maybe 4 feet tall. It's pretty small comparatively, and it just kind of shakes its head, and then kind of wanders sideways, and then wanders sideways again.
I want to like go beside the tree, and like in its like eye line, and like go down as if I'm ready to like do that at them. Also, the same way that they were just doing. And like put my butt up and like my butt a little.
And it kind
like
of
a dog.
It sees you, and it kind of looks at you. Its tusks down, and it's got these little tiny mini tusks, just not grown in yet.
I do like you know, like full golden retriever, like the butt up, hands paws down, like.
Roll me an animal handling check.
We're seeing pup in their natural habitat right now.
10.
A 10. This thing kind of looks at you, hops around a little bit, and starts running off up the coast.
Aww.
And it runs off, and you hear it like screaming and screaming. And you're listening, and then you hear something like thick footsteps, kind of go, 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 go,
No.
back up at you. And Mama Boxen comes walking up, looks at you, sees you there. What are you doing?
I just
And it kind of
wave.
looks at you. And it walks up slowly to you, just creeping. Its nose,
like,
this big wet
Take
nose.
one of my jars of jam open, and I offer it.
Kind of looks. And its big old nose just kind of goes right up to the jar, this big mucus membrane on its nose, and just sniffs the jar. And then it takes one of its tusks and starts digging out some
Yeah,
of that
I like help pour
honey.
it.
Roll me another animal handling check with advantage.
Oh my god, wait, should I use both Bobby dice?
Oh my god.
Are we really gonna
Oh,
roll
Bobby
dice?
Negative plus a
I
negative.
can only find one of my Bobby dice, so I will only be using both of them. So
You
just
can roll that one twice.
Yeah, roll dice twice.
Animal handling.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Oh, 17.
All right.
So it kind of digs out some of the honey,
It's
and then
Jim!
and then this big long tongue just comes out and starts slurping the honey from its tusks, like very long tusk. Now this isn't the poison jam, is it?
Oh!
Just making sure. It starts sniffing it, starts licking it off, and then it looks at you, and you can't really tell what it's thinking, but it sticks its nose straight up against your face and just this mucus all over it, and just
As it does that, I just want to like.
yeah. You scratch its head, and as you scratch its head, it kind of just like what was that? What was that? And you don't get the sense that it feels threatened at all. It's sitting there, and it looks over to a tree, and it looks back over to you, and it lowers its head and gets into this stance, the same stance that you saw the little one into, but this thing just and in two just incredibly fast lunges from 0 to 1,000, boom, hits this tree, and you see the tree go.
Got it.
And it kind of backs up again, and its head just. And then you see right where it hit the tree, this sap almost starts forming outside of it and starts running down the outside of the tree. And it sniffs the sap and then starts licking the sap. And then
Can
the
I
little
go over
ones
to
come
the
around.
sap?
Yeah, the little ones come around to the sap and start licking at the sap. And you wait till they're done, because
Yeah.
you know, like, stealing food from animals can sometimes, it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lick the sap, and it's not necessarily sweet, but it's not bitter. You can tell there's probably some sugars and stuff in that. And you're like, you know, something could survive off of this in a pinch if it really needed to. These big trees. This big mama boxen kind of looks around, sniffs you one more time, and then just kind of, and all of them just go trotting back up the river.
I wave.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later. I love you.
And I run back to my friends.
You guys. I just.
How did it go?
Calm down. Calm.
We made
oh,
new friends. We made new friends.
Excellent stuff.
They
Good job,
taught me
Pat.
how to get tree honey.
tree
They were the ones
Fantastic.
making the trees go boing.
You've learned a
Oh.
lot.
Yeah, so we probably could go over there maybe, but then there would be more of them, and I don't know like how happy they are to have other people around, but it's those animals that are making the trees shake, because that's how they get the honey out of the trees.
Mystery solved. Good work, Pat.
So what I'm
Good
saying
job.
is we no longer have any place that seems spooky or haunted here. So that's
Okay.
good.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't that seem dangerous? I mean, it's got to be a pretty big animal. It's going to make that whole tree shake. I mean, we heard it from here. It was loud.
Yeah. I don't know. I gave him some jam, not honey, and they
Oh.
seem to like it.
Okay,
That's
well, you'll be our ambassador to all these boar-like creatures for now,
Yeah.
and you'll be their friend, and hopefully
I'm
they won't
glad
attack
we
us.
have like 30 more jars still.
Yeah. Like a primer hoof of the Darthwoods, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I don't know how
Well-
many 30 is, but I heard you guys say it once.
It's many fives.
Is 30 more than 10?
Yes.
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 Okay.
30 is 3 tens.
Well, so now our biggest concern is how are we going to get across that river? You said there was a river.
I know how to count to 30.
10,
Nice.
10, 10. We'll work on it later. You've got all the
What did
numbers
you
in
say?
between.
Sorry. What? This is the best day of my life. New friends and I know 30.
You mentioned
And I'm being chased by a giant weird monster thing that I'm putting all your guys' lives at risk because it's coming after me. This is the best day ever.
Yes.
Anyways,
that's probably fine. We'll worry about one thing at a time. You said something about water. River?
oh yeah. There's like water, like a little river up ahead.
Was it moving fast?
It was
Is it like-
not raging waters.
Is it something we should go around or try to go through?
We can try both. Why don't we get there and see?
Let's keep going over there and take a look. Yeah.
Because then maybe if it is too much, we can just knock down some of these littler trees. Go over that instead.
Good thinking. Yeah. Definitely.
I am not a student anymore, so
Yes,
Have we
you are-
noticed a path?
Let's follow
by the
the
way?
teacher. Teacher pup.
There doesn't seem to be any path.
that's what a teacher is.
Any
It doesn't
paths
seem
at all?
like-
I told-
Because-
No
Oh.
carts, nothing, no, nothing. It doesn't seem like many people come out this far. Especially not with a cart or anything.
Oh, it's first time for
Um,
everything.
Well, let's check out this wild river.
Great.
So you guys head out.
I'm just gonna
head
tell.
to that.
Can I just like tell Dresden to just exude extra Dresden-y vibes? Maybe it'll attract the other him. Like a magnet, a little
Yeah.
magnet.
Yeah, and he gives you that look of what he always kind of has on his
Perfect.
face.
That's it. That's what I needed. Great. Let's keep it going.
And you guys get to that, and
Can I keep a track, like keep an eye out in the trees too,
Mhm.
to see if someone's following us high as well?
okay.
Just want to make note of that.
Yeah, Cornelia every once in a while just kind of
Like over here fidgeting. Who's there?
Yeah.
every 5 minutes or so just whips her head around to look for the trees. Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, we're all just a little paranoid right now.
With good reason, I would say.
Nat 20 plus 5.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Nice.
You notice that there's these little six-legged creatures running around
Oh.
with these very wide tails. These tails that are almost bigger than they are. And they're similar to like a squirrel, except they've got this dark, almost violet, purplish, and white fur. And they kind of crawl all over the trees. And then their tails like whoop, and then they just onto another branch, and they move around.
Wow.
You've seen a couple of those now, but that's all you've really seen in the trees here. Nothing that looks like it's paying any attention to you, other than to try and avoid you or looking out for predators or such. And you guys move on, and you get to that moving stream, and it's moving pretty well. You touch it, and the water itself is very, very cold. It's super cold stream. It's maybe 7 to 8 feet deep at the deepest, and this is maybe 25 feet across. It's not super wide. It's just very deep. And the water itself seems to be streaming in like a southwest trajectory.
Well, we can't cross it because the car won't make it. I don't think the mule will make it.
Could you split the water so you could pass with your water abilities?
Well, that's a fun idea, isn't it? How wide is our cart?
5 by 5.
Turns out, I could split it enough for the cart to fit in, but all of us and the mule, not so much. Unless we could all.
What do we need to cross the river? We don't have a destination.
True. Yeah.
We just walk up or down the
Anywhere
river, a direction, right?
True.
Yeah.
So if
Do
you
we
go
think
past the
it's-
river, James, does it go like further, like deeper into the woods, or like where is this like?
Yeah, well, it seems if you want to keep going east towards those mountain chains, you'll have to cross the river at some point. It seems like a lot of this runoff is coming from maybe the northern tip of the mountains themselves.
Right. Yeah, it's cold. It's probably from the mountains. Mountain
Makes
water.
sense.
I want to like drink some. Is it just delicious?
Yeah, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Great.
My hope is that somewhere it
save?
may be.
A 5?
No, I asked a con save. It's a 10.
Oh, a 10. So you drink this water, and you get this bitter, almost metallic taste from the water. It seems like it's much different from the Pottsonshire Forest water. And it's not that it necessarily burns your stomach, but it tastes like almost like blood. But just it's that iron in the water.
Perhaps the mountains are full of iron.
And you weren't here for this, pup, but I think for the most part we're going to kind of just check things for poison from now on before consuming them. So
That's not fun.
Or
it is
efficient.
fun.
But
It is fun and safe.
necessary. Perhaps necessary, yeah. Safe.
Yeah, okay. I'll make sure to do that.
You just winked
you
at me.
know-
I know. Okay, well,
What?
all right.
I didn't.
I think this applies mostly to foods or drinks that people have prepared for us. It might not necessarily apply as much for the cold.
Well, when we're
River
entering
running through the middle of the
entering
Darthwoods.
the Deathwoods, I think we might want to check before we start drinking and eating things in the Deathwoods.
Well,
So
That's true.
just a
We
thought.
did just see
Take another
animals.
sip of water, just like
near
dead eye
those.
contact with Rezik.
Probably.
Stop drinking. Okay, well,
And it's not
All
so
right.
bad. It was more just the shock of it.
funeral.
The shock of just tasting the water and having all that, almost a blood sensation, almost caused you to spit it
Stop.
out in the beginning. But now that you know what this water tastes like, pup, it's... Yeah. Seems just
Well-
like nice, cool water. And the water's clean, too. It seems very clean.
As they go to drink some of it, I'm going to go use Presto and make it taste really, really bad.
What's really
yeah,
bad?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
What's
does that
really
taste
bad?
good? The
I
water.
saw you
What
do
does it taste like, though?
Oh, it tastes like what does Pup hate?
Yeah,
It
what does it
tastes
taste
like- It
What
tastes
does
like
it-
alcohol. And you hate alcohol. So
Why does it burn? Like if all like the flavor's not bad, but it's like the burn.
You're hurting them.
Wait,
they're fine.
wait. I drink at that dance.
Oh yeah. Drop.
God. It was just never ending. All right. So what are we doing? So yeah, we're gonna cross this thing. Or we're gonna just kind of go up it and
No.
see where it leads, or what?
Well, hopefully, it's pretty deep right here. But if it gets shallower, maybe say half as shallow or half as deep, then we could probably cross it okay. It's just it's a little too deep for the cart. It's a little too deep for the mule right now. You know, something if maybe it were like 2 or 3 feet, would be okay. So we could go north, back where it's coming from, and hope maybe there's some shallower parts, or we could go south roughly
Would it
and
be?
hope there's some shallower parts.
Would it be more likely to be shallow down towards the bottom of it? Because then
Would-
it's less of like that current.
Less
would think.
less angle. It would make sense.
Unless you go north and there's more rocks to go over it. It's above the water.
That's true. But
Well, we
then
couldn't
would
get
we
the
like
cart over the rocks.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I was gonna say we flip a coin on it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Do we need
Captain.
to head in any direction? North or
I'm-
south? We don't know.
I'm tuning my ukulele to prepare a traveling song, so I'm ready for this.
Pup.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Rezik too. Pup, smell a direction. See if one smells better. Rezik,
Can smell direction.
cast detect magic. See if one seems worse than the other.
Sure.
Pup,
Hopefully they don't
you-
correspond.
The smell of that family of Boxen is kind of heavy in the air. That's kind of all you smell.
Which
And
they
headed
went north.
south. They had headed south, I think.
They headed south.
Sound.
Southwest.
Well, they had some small ones, you said, right? Maybe they wouldn't be able to cross this either, so perhaps they know more than we
Yeah.
do.
Maybe they know path.
All right, so follow Pup's friends, new friends.
To go south and cross, then
Told you making
Go
friends was a good
somewhere.
idea.
I don't know. We want to keep going east. Let's go
I
south.
give-
We'll keep a respectful distance.
Okay, you guys start heading southwest, and maybe a half-hour travel, you find the river itself widens quite a bit, so it's maybe 35, 40 feet, but it becomes much more shallow at one little embankment. Maybe 5 feet at the deepest maximum.
All right.
Well, still a bit of a gamble. How tall is our cart? Like if I'm
Is it
standing,
worth-
can I reach the top of it?
Yeah.
I could maybe
absolutely.
reach
Your
5 feet
cart's-
tall.
Your cart's like maybe a little just shy of 5 feet, and the mule, your mule is much taller than that. Its head, at least its head, maximum height is above that 5 foot line.
maybe
What were you
we
gonna
should
say, Trust? Is it
freeze
worth? Is it worth?
Is it worth putting the cart in danger, potential danger, if we don't actually need to cross the river that we know of?
Well, that's true. We don't necessarily need to. But this is a little bit more manageable. I could actually stop a lot of the flow of water at this depth.
Okay.
And I think we'd be able to do it. I'm just going to need someone to actually guide the cart while I, try to hold back a torrent of water around us.
We
Sure
can
thing,
get
yeah,
ropes
I've
on
done
the
a few-
other side and pull it.
Oh, good idea, Quinlay. Yeah, we'll do that too. Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
I've done it before in the commission a few times during trips, so I know how to kind of wrangle a cart and animals.
We can
I'll help
tie
out.
a rope to 2 trees on either end, and you can put it on a ice block, and we can ferry back and forth.
We could do that.
Ooh, an
That is
ice block fairy.
Very true.
I don't know. An ice block doesn't seem as stable as just trying to stop the water for a little bit, right? It's gonna be like
That's up to
moving around all
Cullen.
crazy on the ice block.
They don't float that solidly, as we found out. Yeah, so probably holding back the water would be a better bet.
Yeah. So let's get to it. All right. Let's cross this
Okay.
thing.
Let's see how this goes.
So what are you doing, all of you?
Well, we're just
So-
pushing it across, right?
Yeah, Jason. Oh, sorry. Kelwise is going to try to slow down the current. So we
yeah,
can
so
cross a
I'm.
little bit easier.
I
In
imagine I'm
front
like
of
standing
the cart,
on the cart.
Or are you blocking it from the cart or the mule? Because the cart itself is 5 by 5, and then the mule is
Yeah.
like in front of that.
Yeah. Is there a middle ground where I can block some of the cart and some of the mule?
I mean,
Right,
you
right,
can,
right.
but it's gonna be pushing against the cart, and it'll be pushing. The water will be pushing the cart.
When we
to
look
the
over
side.
at Dresden, does he seem like he's cool with this, or does it seem like we're being idiots right now?
He seems
What's
You
the
know-
Dresden gauge saying?
50-50 about this.
What do you mean? He always thinks we're idiots. What do you? Stop
All right.
winning with that man.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know how well our mule swims, but if we lost the
Not
cart, then
well.
we
Can't
wouldn't
we
have a cart.
separate them? Can't
Yeah, I
you
think
go
we should do it
ride
one
on
at
the
a time.
mule and go
Yeah.
across, not attached to the cart, and then maybe we could
Pull it?
uh,
Pull the cart?
Yeah.
Is there a way
push
for
the cart?
you to be on the cart and Rezik? Didn't you make the dragon float? Can't you make? Did we?
Oh, that's true.
Eva
Yeah.
did.
And,
Eva did that.
Dresden is well over 5 feet, so he could even if he's in the water, push the cart forward to help out.
Right, we all get in the cart and make Dresden push us.
I'll
Make
help.
her big.
I'll grow to 6 feet tall and I'll help.
Okay.
We take two turns. We take the mule across first, so the mule is okay, and then we push the cart across.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Everyone's good with that. Okay. That's what we're doing.
Kelwise, roll
It's a
me
plan.
you're on the mule. Now
Yes.
trying to push the mule. Roll me an animal handling check to try and steer this mule through the river as you part the
Oh,
water.
dude, I'm gonna do great at this.
We're
I'm gonna be so
still.
great at
We could
this.
still use the mule too with the rope and tie it to the cart to help him push too. As we're pushing it.
We might not need to. I got a 17.
17. Yeah, so
We're gonna lose it.
it's a little trepidatious at first. Like, the water moves, and the mule kind of looks at the water, not really understanding. And you push it forward, and it walks a little bit, and as the water's moving, the mule, flabbergasted. It's just kind of, as the water kind of, just kind of parts around you left and right. And it's a little bit creeped out, but you manage to push the mule all the way to the other side of the bank.
Good mule. You did great.
It was amazing.
I give him a bunch of little pats and rubs.
Okay.
And then I'll just kind of tie him up to a tree
Okay,
or something
tie him
real
to a
quick while I
nearby
go
tree.
back.
And
Yeah.
Cowwise, you notice from this side of the bank, it's weird, but you can barely see your friends across. It seems like some kind of thick fog has rolled in.
Well, that's bizarre. But I can see them. I can just
You can
barely see them.
Yeah, and you see them.
Okay.
The fog itself kind of rolls out onto the lake and then disperses, as if you're at the
Okay.
very edge of it.
Yeah. Well, as I go back across to get the cart, I want to pay special attention to that and see if it
So, yeah,
seems like there's
you
some sort of
go
barrier.
back across and you start parting the seas, and the mist seems to follow you until you cross, and when you look back, it just seems to vanish, almost as if the mist itself just kind of into the air.
Okay, so slightly concerning. There seems to be maybe some sort of mist on the other side that isn't as visible over on this side that may or may not be following us.
Ooh, you found the spooky stuff.
Yeah, I knew there was going to be something somewhere. Two parts to the story. There's always some truth, right?
So we're on the right
Can we
path.
see the
All
mule right now?
Seems like we're on the right path.
Yeah, the mule
You know
looks
what?
fine.
We can see the mule over there.
The mule's just tied up, sniffing around,
Yeah.
hanging out.
But when I looked back this way, you guys were really hard to see. Like you were in a
Wait.
fog bank.
What if this is the spooky side and that's not the spooky side?
Well,
Well, no, because
You're
this
right.
time this side seemed okay. So if it went to that side and it seemed creepy, that's the side we need
Yeah.
to go to, right?
Did this side seem spooky to you?
No, but you're saying that when you went over there, we were in mist, not you were in mist.
That's true.
well,
Well, no, the
But-
mist surrounded you and you couldn't see us because you were surrounded by mist on that side. That's what you were telling me a
Yes.
second ago.
And it followed you on that side.
Okay, then I got
Oh.
confused. I thought you were saying that we were covered in mist. from
yeah,
that
it was
side.
more of a localized mist.
Mm.
Just obscuring you.
Oh.
But yeah, once you get back over here, it seems to be gone. Yeah,
All right.
it's okay.
Now push! And I'm just trying to, we're all going to start.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, everyone.
All right.
I'd like to just be standing on the cart, like playing a shanty.
You're gonna have your
Yes,
instrument out?
inspire us, try to trust.
All right. So Trust boldly pulls out this very expensive instrument as you start to
I'm on
push
the
it
cart.
across a cart, hoping that the water just Kelwise's spell doesn't dissipate and soak the instrument. Many
Worked
things
last
can
time.
happen. What are your roll? Pup and Rezek roll athletics checks. You guys are pushing, right?
Yeah, so is Dresden.
And Dresden is too.
So is beefy boy Dresden.
Athletics?
Mm-hmm.
19.
All right.
It's a,
Jax.
it's a 12.
So the three of you
Yeah,
managed
die.
to, because it's a little tough, because it's a single axle cart. You kind of have to push down on the back to get the front prongs up, and then push forward. But between the three of you, you easily manage, especially with Kelwise parting the waters. Kelwise, roll me a survival to see how well you do in keeping the water off of the cart.
Ooh, not as great this time. 8. We're getting wet.
An 8. Pup, Rezek,
Splash Mountain.
and Dresden, you guys just get soaked. And Trust, you're playing on the back of this thing, and you managed to keep any kind of moisture off of your instrument. It was daring, it was thrilling and exhilarating, but you managed to pull it off. And you
Stirred
guys
everyone's
cross.
spirits.
Yeah, and you guys cross, and the second you cross, you notice your vision starts to not blur.
That's what I was
But-
talking about.
It just gets a little harder to see farther. You look deep into the forest, and what you could see before is now a little bit covered in this, mired in this grayish white fog.
I want to cast dancing lights and see if it creates any sort of lantern effect and like gives us a slightly wider field of vision.
Yeah, you cast dancing lights, and it helps ever so slightly. It's not as much that you can see farther. It's just the lights themselves kind of move off into the fog and make little glowing points in the distance. And you can really only see, you can maybe see 25 feet around you, deeper into this forest. So it's not thick like in the realm of the Hollowed King, but it's still pretty hefty fog.
Can I combine all the individual lights into a single light that like kind of walks in front of us?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Are you guys going to continue east?
Do we see a path now at all by chance, or what does the ground look like? Just
There's
normal?
no
we see
pathway.
anything.
No, it's just more forest.
And no like tracks, no footprints, or
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Pup, can you try climbing a tree and see if this fog follows you all the way up?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Tree.
you climb to the top of a tree, and by the time you get to the very tippy top, you see that the fog itself is low hanging where you're at, but as you continue into the forest, the fog seems to rise higher and higher until maybe 10 miles, or more like 5 miles to the east, to the tips even of the fog. The tips of the trees are covered in fog, and really all you can see is that giant mountain and those flint-like crystalline spires sticking out of the tops of the mountain.
I'm gonna climb back down, and I relay this.
So like the mist looks like it goes up to where we saw those pointy things earlier.
So should we head towards that, or should we walk along the river longer?
I don't know. Do we want to go towards the spooky? Because I think that it's the easiest direct way to go, right?
We don't have any other direction other than see if they were telling the truth about all this stuff.
In which case, that would be the place to probably do it.
Yeah, that's
And
spooky
they're
town right
going-
there.
Head in
Ugh.
might be the only option that we have. Either go head in here or turn back and deal with Noxus. So,
Mm-mm.
or Hoaxus.
Noxus.
Well, I'd rather.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. We fought Hoaxus that one. We dealt with Hoaxus that one time, and it was near impossible to even fight. So I'd rather deal with whatever's ahead of us. It's a mystery, I guess, than him. But it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Onward!
Onward!
I think that might be our only option.
Onward it is.
Do you, by the way, so did they talk to you when you were looking at the threads? Should you try talking to somebody through there, or do you don't want to because they'll see where we're at, right? So
I think that one of the eyes looking at me was Hoaxus. So I'm scared of looking. But I have an idea.
And I take out my music box.
I don't know if this will do anything. Maybe it'll just play music here. But
Well, if you're gonna use it at all, this is the time, right?
What are you hoping it will do?
anything?
Okay.
And you pop open the
Open it.
box, and it plays. And you get this sense of calm that this box has. And it almost seems like the mist here doesn't avoid it, but parts in respect going around the box.
Pup the teacher.
Are
Wow.
you guys sing this or?
Yeah. Good thinking.
While-
This is. Yeah.
While Pup has the music box out, can I be like studying it so that I can make a song out of it? Like a lullaby that I can sing Pup to sleep with.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's got a very
Bro, you're
distinct
gonna make
melody.
me cry right now. That's so cute. Oh, that's really cute. Anyway. I'm a big old baby.
You think it's the song they're avoiding or the music box itself?
Well, we don't know what magic is imbued in that.
Yeah, I think it might be
Maybe
the type
it's
of
the
magic.
music.
Remember that
Okay.
the grumpy elf guy who was upset that he couldn't figure out what this was? I think that whatever type of magic this is, maybe it's related to stuff around here. I don't know. I don't really know how magic works very much.
No, you're on the right path there, Pup. I mean, it's probably maybe even so ancient that that the most ancient of elves probably doesn't even know what it is. You know, we don't even know. So,
Am I ancient?
well, this thing is. Well, I don't know. I have no idea how old you are. Maybe.
I've only
Maybe
been around
if you
for.
come from an ancient line of wherever you found your father. That
Well,
Can I close
either
it?
way, it was good thinking. Yeah. Well. Oh.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
again, the
Really?
second you close it, the mist that was avoiding it very slightly just starts to fill that space again.
I wonder.
Would it like transform into like Hellwise? Does anything
Okay.
happen with the mist?
Hey,
Doesn't seem to.
is that what I look
interact.
like?
Yeah. This is actually this is a pretty one-to-one of what you look like. Yeah. Kind of handsome, kind of daring.
I look like I need to take a
Small.
bath.
Yeah.
Why am I so dirty?
I mean, I think that that's more me than you, to be honest. At this point, I was rubbing some dirt on me earlier to make sure those animals liked me, and I just wanted to make sure that like everything's cool so I can make my new best friends. But yeah,
That makes more sense.
yeah. I try.
Okay.
Well, I would say close the box to keep anyone from hearing us coming, and approach stealthily. Or do we want to leave the box open so they can hear us and approach us? I don't know what to do in this situation right now.
well, the
I-
box
I
seemed to be
don't-
the only thing that let us see through the mists.
But even then, it was really only a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we just continue. I kind of don't want to tell anyone that I have it, just in case
That's
these guys
fair.
are actually bad guys. And like, what if they're like, "Oh, we're using you because you come from ancient things. You're really old, and we're gonna take you. Oh, we're gonna take your ancient magic box and learn how to do bad."
And
No,
can I
that's
try
Smart
true.
to
to-
avoid such things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of learned on when I was on that ship that maybe not everyone is nice for nice reasons.
That
Yeah,
is
that's saying.
Yeah,
a
that was
very
really
tough
small cave.
thing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Pats. I give pats. Scritches.
My leg is a dog thing.
Our pup is growing up.
All right.
All right. Well.
Let's keep heading east then. And
Yeah. I guess.
keep an eye out. Keep marking the trees.
On it.
And Pup, you
let's
just
go.
had all that water, so you're rearing to go and ready.
Perfect.
You guys continue heading east, and that grayish white fog seems to start getting a little thicker and thicker as you go, and it's pretty hard to move now, Kelwise. You're moving, and you notice maybe the.
Can I like, is it water vapor? Can I try to like condense it or move it away, like from my immediate vicinity?
Sure, give me a survival check.
19. Oh, sorry. 21. I can't do math.
You seem to be able to move the water vapor ever so slightly. You can at least keep it, move it in a 5x5x5 square. And it does seem to be at least water-based vapor. So you managed to
Okay.
manipulate it. You can manipulate a small box of it, but still no more than that.
Yeah, maybe just enough to kind of keep it off of our faces. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like it would help navigate, even if we can't see far away. If it's not like right up in your face.
I mean, you'd have to just keep recasting it though, right? Like, how long does it last?
Or just over and over because it stays stationary basically and wouldn't move with our
Yeah.
cart. Okay.
Well, I
I'll
mean,
just
you could
use
keep it
some
moving. You just
wipers.
have to recast it every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, now more than ever, I am casting Detect Magic every once in a while just to make sure that we're not walking anything stupid or like magical and evil or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So you cast Detect Magic and roll me a Constitution saving throw, Rezik.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. That's a 13.
13. You cast Detect Magic, and everything around you explodes with light, and it almost blinds you, and you hear this shrieking scream
My.
that almost pierces your eardrums as you're just engulfed, and what you can and you start to feel very, very, very cold, and then you cut off the spell right before you felt that cold seep maybe into your heart. It's in your bones, and you start to shiver. And everyone who looks at Rezik, his skin is almost blue.
Oh my god. Whew.
What happened?
Is that
Oh.
because the mist is on him, or is that a reaction to him feeling that much magic?
It's hard to tell. He
Okay.
just
Did
cast
we all
detect
see
magic.
this sound and light, or is that all in his head?
That
Did we
was
all
just
see
Rezik.
that?
Just Rezik opened himself up to all the magic, and it was just bombarded with it. It seems to just be around and in everything.
Rezik,
Oh
are you
my.
okay? Rezik,
Yeah, you
you
look-
kind of look bad.
terrible
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
You're blue,
Uh.
mate. Why are you blue?
What happened?
I am very cold. I was trying to just detect
Grab your
magic
hands.
and
Cuddle a dog.
oh, thank
Cuddle
you,
up with
thank
a
you,
dog.
thank you, thank you. Yes, I was trying to just see if there's any magical sources around us, and this place lit up like the sun. It was just everywhere.
The mist.
Wow.
It
That
must
makes
be
sense.
magical mist.
Well,
Must be. That
or
was
maybe
bad.
something else is. The mist seems to be maybe just mist,
you, Pup.
but maybe it's also magical mist. Maybe. So you're saying
I
it's
mean,
like it's everything.
someone could be casting the mist, and so that would make
Oh.
it a magical mist, even though it feels
That's-
like a real mist.
True. Oh, maybe someone's intentionally making this place spooky.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Take it
definitely
out.
possible.
And I, like,
How would they know
ask
to not go around my music box then? If it's
Well, maybe magic is repelled by magic.
But then
It's-
what-
Or whatever.
Can I take my dagger out? Is the mist?
It doesn't seem to
Avoiding
be
that?
reacting. No.
What if you ask Eva
I
to
don't
come
know.
out?
Oh well.
Okay, no.
No, I mean it's you can try it.
what if she
Eva.
disappears?
That's true. Maybe
Eva,
not.
dear.
Maybe not.
And
Never
Eva
mind.
pops
Rezik,
out
you're-
on the
no.
cart.
Okay, but
Hi, are you feeling okay?
Yeah. Why? Is it
Okay.
cold here? It feels cold.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
Do you see any other
I don't think I've ever
spirits
felt
or
cold since, well, we made this arrangement. It's kind of weird.
Oh my. Okay.
I have
Be
a
very
question.
careful.
For you, Eva. Is one place colder than another place? Like, do you feel colder, like, in a certain direction? Like, if you walk around?
No, just this, whatever this mist is, just feels very dark.
Yeah.
spooky, you might say.
Well, I'm a ghost, so it's hard to say what's spooky and what's not.
Oh my gosh, I just realized we could totally pull pranks on people. We should do that next time when we're not in, like, a life-threatening situation.
Can we please
sure.
do that?
Oh my gosh, we're for
Please.
sure
Yeah.
gonna prank some, like, really, really stupid
All right.
people.
What about what?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
No. The other
Prince.
day I was thinking we could like literally like make someone think we're like a god. Just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna turn my back, hold the number up with your hands. What do you have? And Eva can just be like 6, and you'd be like, it's 6, and they're like, oh my god, this person's a miracle worker. Like,
So in your head, God just guesses numbers in people's heads.
That's just
Well,
lying.
not
That's
a literal
that's
god.
Not fun. That's just boring and just lying. If we
Don't
train
judge my
people,
version of
We
fun.
just like scare them.
Pup. Rezek
Yeah.
likes
Alright.
intellectual type fun with numbers and things.
Leave it to Rezek.
Lying.
What
Use
would
the
you do?
power of
Rezek?
the
What would
ghosts
you,
for
what would you do?
boring Stuff.
I don't know.
We could pull
Maybe
someone's pants
haunted.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pull someone's pants down, Rezek. That would be way more fun.
Or we could even like if someone's being mean, we could haunt them and make them be like, "Oh, you have to rethink your life choices, or else you're gonna die. I'm gonna drag you down to the underworld."
That's so much meaner than what I was gonna do. That's like
no,
really
because
mean.
they're mean.
All right, God.
Then you're
I
not
was
just
just-
lying to someone. Well,
You would also be lying to someone.
another teaching moment.
Yeah, for the
Lucy.
improvement of their life.
All right, this got me heated up, so thank you for that.
Great.
Do you see any other spirits, Eva? Do you see anything
Yes,
weird
please,
out
oh.
there?
Pranking, huh?
I don't really see anything. This mist is kind of
Teach him a
blocking
thing or two.
anything I can see. I just know that it's cold,
okay.
and I've never felt cold like this before.
All right. Well, just be safe, dear. If you need to go, back to wherever you go, then feel free.
Inside your head.
Oh,
Do
is
you
that where
like
you go?
sit on his brain? Is it all like a squishy little
I don't know.
sofa?
I choose to believe that.
All right. Well, take care of it. All right. Yes. So I guess we'll just keep moving forward.
All we can do.
Onwards!
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys
All right.
travel
very
for
careful,
what-
everyone.
Pea soup out here.
You guys
How are the
travel what
dogs
feels
reacting?
like forever. The dogs seem pretty excited to be in
They're
this
not, like,
mist.
freaking out.
Though the mule seems less excited to be traveling through this.
Our dogs are
And,
dumb, Cornelia.
And you guys travel for maybe 4 or 5 more hours, very slowly heading what you assume to be east, Pup jumping up on trees to kind of direct you towards the mountains. And the mule starts to visibly slow down. He's getting tired, and same with the dogs. And you guys kind of come upon this little clearing. And in this clearing, you see a well. This well looks old, very, very, very old. It's still upright, but the stones around the basin have been cracked over time. There's this huge wooden frame that just looks old and decrepit, and this rope hangs that's just been there for years and years and years. And this little clearing.
Don't drink out of that.
And you see that there's like what looks like maybe a little cottage that's dilapidated. The ceiling has fallen in, and those walls are, for the most part, broken down. They've fallen one way or another, and then it's just roots, almost weeds, have come up, and vines have come up to claim what's left of it. And you notice all around you that the trees themselves are changing. The same type of tree, but instead of long branches in this huge stalk, the trees themselves are starting to be a little bit more gnarled in like almost hook-like positions, almost as if the branches and the tree trunks are recoiling from this this feeling, this dark mist that's all around you. And instead of pines and leaves, you notice that these branches are bare. There's no leaves anymore.
Well, this seems like a trap.
This seems literally like a cottage out of a horror story. Like this is literally a
Yeah.
haunted house.
I'm
then don't
no
touch
genius,
anything.
but
should I
the
go
fact
knock
that
on the
we
door?
just no.
Well, what
No.
if he's inside? What if that's where he lives?
No.
I take like one step and I shoot my little close.
I grab Pup's hand and I yank them back. Do not, please.
And there really
All
isn't a
right.
doorway anymore. The whole thing has been collapsed in. There's where might have been a doorway. You can see maybe 1 or 2 spots where the doorway might have been for this little cottage, but
Are there any new tracks?
Roll me a
Tracks,
perception
maybe?
check.
Oh, good
And the
question,
ground itself is still covered in this almost thick, heavy grass that it would be long, but it's kind of damp and heavy, so it's kind of matted down all across this little enclosure.
22.
A 22. You do notice there's a set of footprints that kind of come out from the east, that come over towards the well itself, and then head back. And they kind of wander around a little bit. You notice there's just the grass itself has been trampled just a little bit.
And they're recent? They're,
It seems fairly recent, yeah.
and it goes straight to the well and then back out? And
It
then
goes to the
kinda
well,
wanders
and
a little
then
bit?
you see it walks around a little bit near the well, and then it kind of walks back on a slightly different path, but
All right, I'm gonna tell everybody that I see some footprints. Wonder.
Person footprints or animal footprints?
No, are they wearing shoes or?
it's hard to tell because the grass itself is so thick. Something kind of scraped their way through here, and it's not like they're set footprints. You just see a pathway where the grass looks
Yeah.
disturbed a little bit.
Could you tell
Like,
size, like big or
Fairly
small?
large, yeah.
It seems like something maybe a medium-sized creature.
Does the well look like it has any mist coming out of it at all, or is it concentrate a little heavier around that well, or?
Uh-uh. The well doesn't seem to be significant in any way comparatively, other than it's just in this little clearing.
Kate is dum-dum, but Pup might remember. Did Scar Dresden ever tell us his name?
His
Deus.
name was Deus.
I'm just gonna...
Deus! Psst. Deus, are you in there? Hey!
And I'm just gonna grab like a little pebble and like at the house.
Yeah, you throw a rock
Poke
and
in the haunted house. Oh.
you don't hear anything. Nothing replies. It just kind of echoes throughout this forested area in the clearing.
Toe into the well.
Deus, are you down there?
Throw
And
a
you
rock
look-
down there.
This well isn't.
Oh my! Let's throw it from a distance.
super,
Oh
super
no!
deep. Yeah, and you hear it go down into the dark, and then bloop, you hear a splash.
Is there
I don't
a
think he's down there.
Are there footprints like
Why would he be down there?
a fashion
I
we
don't
could
know.
follow?
I mean, you could definitely follow at least out of the clearing. That's as far as you could see. You could follow the footprints if you wanted to. It's just mostly that your animals and your packs are getting very heavy. It's been about a full day of hiking.
Okay.
Our mule is
Is-
not happy. He needs
can
a
I
break.
find like some sort of stick, like a longer, it's like a foot long stick or something around?
Mhm.
Is there like branches? Can I like go closer to the rubble of the house? I'm not gonna touch anything with my skin, but can I like kind of?
Yeah. And your dancing lights, and now your
Rifle through
dancing,
the
your
rubble?
dancing lights are kind of the only light source around everyone. It's very dim light, and when Trust takes those lights with her, you guys notice it gets very, very dark.
Wait.
None of the sun is really piercing through this fog anymore.
Why were you able to do this magic, but Rezek wasn't able to do his magic? Is it like a different type of magic?
No,
Oh,
my
he
magic.
was detecting magic.
Yeah, my magic worked, but it was just a lot. Like I was looking for a candle, and I ended up seeing the entire sun just glaring at me.
Oh.
Yeah. So
He got
So you can use the other
overwhelmed with
spells?
the magic.
Can you still like presto and then you won't
yeah.
explode?
Let's see. I'll clean dirty Calwise a little bit. Apparently he's dirty. Presto, and I'm gonna clean him a little bit.
I was the dirty Kelwise.
Oh,
I feel much better anyway.
Wait.
Thank you.
which one?
Pup literally had dirt on them.
Oh, right.
I know.
Okay,
wasn't-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right.
what are you guys
But thanks.
doing?
All right. So should we just camp here? Maybe like investigate a little bit while we're here.
I'm good with that. As I'm like
That seems like a
me
good
like
plan.
an old person on the beach with their like metal detector. That's what I'm doing through the rubble of this house right now.
Yeah, maybe let's get a good spot where we could see the well, but are hidden, and see if anyone returns, maybe, while we're resting.
Oh, good
yeah,
idea.
that's smart. Maybe not in the clearing, but near the clearing. I don't know.
Can't
Yeah,
really see if we're not in the spot, really.
I can go into a tree, and I can whisper to Rezek if I see anything.
But will you
Okay.
see through the fog?
I mean, Pup can't really see what you can't see well through the fog, but the trees are close enough. This clearing isn't very large. It was kind of just big enough for this cottage and this well, so it's maybe only 30 feet across total. It was a very small little house. Yeah,
We'll be able to make
Yeah.
out a body,
like just a single
silhouette
room.
or something.
You could easily, yeah, and you could see
But yeah.
well. The from the nearest tree, the well is maybe only 20 feet.
Is it dark because the tree cover is so robust, or is it dark because it's like we've been traveling all day and it's dark now?
It's hard to tell, but all you can really see now is that there's no sunlight coming in because the sun was kind of lighting up your pathway for a while,
Yeah.
so it was like dim, and then farther and farther you've gone, the darker and darker it's gotten. And you knew it was kind of coming towards evening already, so it could be either or, but you're not seeing any moonlight or starlight either through this, which you probably wouldn't at this point.
I was gonna say maybe we'd have better luck in the morning when the sun's back out, but I don't know if that's gonna matter necessarily. Maybe we just take a rest and time of the day be.
Killwise, I think I actually agree with you. It might be like more. It might actually be worse to check it now, the house, check it now, than just to check it in the morning and wait a little while. And also, Cornelia was saying we can just like wait and see if anybody comes back. So that's also a good thing as well. So
That is smart. Yeah.
All right.
So we'll rest before we search.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so you
I
guys set up a
A
camp.
little bit hidden.
I'm
Um,
searching.
Cornelia, roll me a stealth check to try and set up this camp in a stealthy kind of position where you can still see.
18.
An 18. Okay, so Cornelia kind of helps direct the camp. And Pup, give me a stealth check as well as you're trying to find a spot to
place to hide.
watch. Yeah,
11 plus 5, 16.
a 16. So you're in a tree. You find a pretty well camouflaged position. And you guys sit down and spend the time resting. And you guys sit for maybe 6 to 7 hours. And it doesn't seem like anything's changing, anything's moving. It's just this very still place, just the fog itself. The fog itself isn't even moving. It's just kind of sitting there heavily. And until someone moves, the fog itself doesn't move. Trust, are you keeping your dancing lights out? Are you guys-
No. If we're
Okay.
like trying to be
Yeah, so for Kelwise and Rezek and Pup, for the most part, you guys are in what looks like complete darkness now. Trust and Cornelia, you can barely see. Your vision's maybe 15 feet max, because it's that dim light, even being covered by the fog. And you guys kind of
before
sit.
we like settle, I'm gonna put the alarm spell around us, just so
Okay.
just in case.
Perfect. So you put an alarm up, and you guys are sitting there for what seems like a full rest. You guys have gotten rested, and you guys are stirring, and just before you start to pack everything up, Pup, you start to hear something coming from the east.
I immediately tell Rezek.
Rezek, I hear something.
Up here, something.
And you hear something like it's like almost like dice rolling on the streets that crackle, a high-pitched clanking sound, not quite metal, but something hollow, something dense, but also light, moving slowly, almost like a baby rattle, coming from the east. And Pup, you're in complete darkness, but you can hear this thing moving very slowly. And you can hear the grass itself being just moved through.
But before I would have gone up to hide, I would have cast dark vision.
Okay, you're gonna cast dark
just
vision.
a heads up. I mean, I would have before going up there if I'm going to be keeping watch.
Okay, and how long does dark vision last?
I think it lasts a few hours. Let me check. Dark vision lasts 8 hours.
It's pretty long. Okay, so you
Nice.
cast dark
Okay.
vision, and you go up there, and you're keeping watch, and you can still only see about 25 feet, maybe 20, because it's really just dim light now, and you see something, the outline, because you can barely see this thing. You see this very, very almost gaunt humanoid. That's this. Its body is like this bright white, almost shining out, kind of clunkily moving through the grass, and it moves over to the well, and it's hard to see through that mist, but this very gaunt figure starts to pull at the well, pulling something up more and more and more. And as you start to look and get a really deep look at this thing, it's very, very gaunt, and it pulls this bucket out with water, and it just splashes it over its face, drops the bucket, and then it kind of looks up in your direction and takes a couple steps towards you past the well itself, and you notice it's very, very gaunt because it has no skin, it has no organs, and you see this rib cage sticking out. And you see this bleached skeleton, just kind of dark pits for eyes.
The stories were true.
Look at you, and its head
Oh, God.
cocks. And that's where we're going to pick up. After
Oh
break.
god, the stories are true.
Skellies! Skellies!
Oh my god.
No, it's
So much for that alarm spell, huh?
Waving.
not where we are. It's where Pup is.
This is a scholar.
Hello, everyone. We're back. We were just talking about sodium chloride and why is there so much of it?
And,
And why
is
does it
salt
taste so
vegan?
good?
And why does it taste
having
so
a little-
good?
Salt
little,
vegan.
Is salt
science
vegan?
lesson.
Find out.
Jason was concerned that it came from ancient decayed animals way back when. So
Yeah,
it's
like
not.
it doesn't. Thankfully,
Salt is not
it's
from
just-
the decaying bones of the dinosaurs.
it's heat and
Well-
pressure.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
could turn this one into a
I
pet.
waved.
Maybe it's a friendly Skelly. He's just washing his face. They are. We don't know
I guess we'll see
gender
if we
of the
get
Skelly.
Dogs,
So that's-
go
roll
get the
the
bones.
initiative.
Fetch,
Pup,
fetch.
you see that skeleton
Go pups.
cock its head, and it doesn't have any facial features, so you can't really read any expression on its face. It just kind of cocks its head, takes another couple steps towards you, slowly, and you still waving?
I'm
Start
waving
to
at the
wave.
giveaway winners that didn't get their goods.
Oh.
Oh.
What type of
Nice
stream is this?
one. And
We
segue
promised stickers.
back to
Segue.
Backtrack.
unsegue.
Let's talk
Who
about
starts
the sticker winners. All right, first off, we're giving away one of these. It's the Bobby Dice
All right.
magnet.
Gonna
Woo!
kill us all
We are
tonight.
also going to give away a set of our beautiful
Ooh.
ladies to congratulate our last Tuesday
Giving a lot of
stream.
stickers away tonight.
We're gonna give away
yeah,
a
it's the last
set.
one,
It's
yeah.
our last Tuesday stream. We will never stream on a Tuesday ever again, ever.
Streaming on Mondays.
Period.
Just Mondays
Streaming on
from now
Mondays,
on.
yeah. No matter what
You know,
happens
you
in the future, we cannot
Stream it
stream on Tuesdays.
You.
And our three winners are Honey Nut Bimo, Unsun Jayme, and Timbo. Congratulations! So thank you.
Nice.
If I don't have your address, please
And
send a whisper to the channel with a PO box or address that I can send these things to. I will also include a handwritten note specifically tailored to you from us. Whatever that means.
You'll figure it out later. as you're writing it.
Skeletons. A skeleton is staring at you from the trees. You start to wave, and it almost leans in, looking straight at you, Pup. And then you hear a... and it jumps back, trips, falls down the well, and you hear a...
What was that splash?
Hey,
Everything okay?
There was like a guy who didn't have any skin or meat or anything. She was just bones, and he got scared and fell down the well.
Pup saw someone with no skin, just
Or
bones, and they
meat,
fell down the
yeah.
well when they got scared.
Yeah, they washed their face, and then they saw me, and then they got scared, and they fell down the well. Can you talk back on this? I don't know if you can talk back on this. Anyway, that's all that
I
I
can't.
saw, and then
I'm just gonna continue rambling.
Okay.
Um,
Pup's continuing to talk, but yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
what did no skin? What did they mean no skin? Oh, you can't. Oh gosh, we need a two-way communication device, don't we?
We should get one at some point for sure.
Yeah.
and it was really
yeah.
weird because like I saw him and I thought that he was like really skinny or something, but then I looked at him harder and he was just bones. He was just like walking bones. Maybe it's like a magic thing because I don't really know how bones move. I'm pretty
They
sure
They-
you move like.
Are they?
also
Do we need to
yeah, for
go
bones
over there?
to Move, but I don't know.
Sorry, it's hard to hear
Anyway,
you.
we fell down the well.
Yeah, we.
And there's nothing else around here right now, but it's really weird. It
Can we
sounded
check
like
on
almost
that?
like
You
a
decide. I
child when he
Okay,
walked
let's
down.
go. We gotta go. We gotta go
Bones
help
were
up.
rattling.
All right.
Oh, God.
Thinking about.
Someone lead the way. I can't see anything.
Let's have a few people stay here, and we'll just have a couple people pop up. You want to go with me, Kelly?
I'll go with you. Can you
Alright.
see?
Yeah.
Great.
Follow me.
Lead the way. Arm on
Okay.
shoulder.
Maybe sneaky.
Trust. Should we also start going over there, or just stay behind? We probably should also go over there. Okay.
You all
We're
want to
gonna-
go?
We'll keep behind you a little bit, but we're gonna also follow a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, and Resnick,
Okay.
you're in pitch dark right now.
Oh God. Trust, can you get one of your little glowy light
Yeah, am
thingies
I
out?
with Rezik, like, right with
Yeah, you
Rezik?
guys were all.
Okay,
you guys
yeah,
were all
I'll
kind of
cast.
together.
I'll
You-
cast dancing lights again.
Can you lead
Okay.
them? Maybe we should stay in the darkness if Pup's in trouble.
Did Pup sound in trouble?
I don't know, Resnick.
They don't sound like they're in trouble. They're just kind of watching a skeleton thing fall into a well.
Are
But yeah,
there more
you're right. Let's
around?
keep the lights. Let's keep the lights off, and I'll just lead me, Trust, and I'm just gonna grab Trust's hand.
Can I see without the lights?
We can see like
Do not
15
have-
feet or so with our dark vision.
Okay, I'll lead him.
Okay, yeah. So you guys kind of just stumble your way, and Pup isn't very far. The camp is just kind of around a couple tree bends, and you guys make it to where. And Resnick, you can hear Pup speaking into the ring, both
can stop now.
outside
You can stop
and
now.
inside.
We are here. Stop.
Oh.
Stop talking.
Oh, hey guys, hey.
Yeah.
Hi. So yeah, I saw yeah,
You don't have to talk into that anymore. Pup, talk to us. Also,
Yeah, so I saw.
Are you hearing an echo right now, Resnick?
yes, Pup, keep the words down to a minimum because I can hear your voice in my head, and it's hard to think when you're just talking for like ever. So just
It's a ring, right? Like I'm not crazy. It's a ring.
Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
guys had matching rings, but Resnick had
Yeah.
to like open his awareness up, and he can kind of close his awareness if he needs to.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, well never mind. I close it.
Resigtunes pup out.
Hello, is this thing on?
And you
Pup,
guys
we
are
are-
standing
we are next
right
to you.
under
We are
Pup's
right
tree,
next
so
to
you
you.
can kind of hear. Yeah.
All right, pup. What exactly did you see? We got a relayed message. Some person without a skin. What?
And
Yeah,
you guys
so,
can
like-
hear something thrashing in this well, just
Do you
just
hear
down
that?
in the well.
Yeah.
There was this guy who walked down, and he didn't have any skin or like muscles or flesh or anything. He was actually just bones, and so this just like bone creature thing walked down and washed his face in the well. It was really cute. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull up the bucket." Cold water. It was like really.
Do we
really
need to
nice,
help him? Is he
very
down there
gentle.
right now while you're
And
talking?
then he saw me. And he got really scared. And he went, "Ah!" And then he fell backwards down the well.
I'm gonna go look in the well.
You look in the well, and it's hard to see all the way to the bottom just because it's so dark, but you can make out water splashing about.
Can I set? I'm gonna send my lights down.
So you send your lights down, and you see what look like skeletal feet just flash, thrashing.
Oh. Kind of cute.
Isaac, help! We've got all
What am
that
I-
rope. Get the rope.
Huh?
Get
And
the
do what with
rope.
it?
There's rope right here on a pulley, I think. Maybe we could just...
Does he look dangerous? Does he have weapons? You're just gonna pull up a skeleton that's
That sounds
alive?
like scared. It sounds like it's just scared.
Yeah, he sounds like he was scared. I think that maybe we should help him.
I get scared and I'm dangerous.
Just ruffle your hair.
Yeah,
All right.
All right.
How far down is it?
It's maybe 35 feet down.
35. Okay. Well, we'll have to. Oh man.
There's
can
a
we-
rope with
Yes,
a pulley
no,
going down.
that's-
We could just...
Yes. Yes, there is. But we have. It's not gonna grab
Hey.
onto him. You have to use it. What?
I'm gonna climb down and go over to the well.
Excuse me? Can you grab onto the rope so we can help you up?
And you just hear splashing and thrashing.
Yeah. We'll have to. We'll have to just.
I'm just gonna tug on the rope a little bit, see what he does.
You
You're
tug on the
taking
rope
too
a little
long.
bit, and the bucket, feel the bucket being smacked around and stuff.
He's not doing nothing.
Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, and
I
trust
think
lights.
he's stupid.
Trust lights reveal it's just two little legs and feet sticking out of the bottom of the water, thrashing about.
All right. I'm going to try to. Actually, Cornelia, probably safer for you to do this because you're lighter than me. Do you want to just dangle and go down the rope a little bit, like 5 feet, and then use your mage hand to tie the rope around his ankle?
We can put you in the bucket.
No, I always have to do these things.
I
How
can do
wide-
it, but I'm a bit heavier.
How wide across is the...
How wide across is the well?
It's maybe 4 or 5 feet across total.
So
It's a
I
pretty
could, in
large
theory,
well.
I like press myself against it and like lower myself down.
Yeah, you probably could. It's pretty
You want
wide.
me to go
but-
down?
but-
I can just go down.
Yeah, but
No,
then you're
Pop,
gonna
don't kick.
have
Then,
to touch it. I'd rather do the mage hand.
yeah, because then you're gonna be stuck down there with a skeleton that we don't know if it's dangerous or not. So just don't go down there by yourself.
But if I went down there with Cornelia to make sure she's okay.
Well, no, we're just gonna have her go down like only 5 feet because we can't reach it with the mage hand because it's 30 feet only. All right, yeah, all right.
I got up.
So yeah, so go
I know
dangle
what
down a
30
little
is.
bit and then use a mage hand to tie it around the ankle.
All right. Keep an eye out for more, if there's any more coming from the trees, guys. I'm gonna go
Okay.
over there and
I can't see.
do
fast.
whatever they want me to do.
I can't either, so it wouldn't be very helpful. But I'll listen.
Yeah. All right.
You don't
I'm
hear
gonna
anything
go-
else. Hellwise. Roll a perception check for me though. And Cornelia, you're gonna kind of hang off this rope and mage hand it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you slide down. Give me an athletics check just to slide down this rope, and then give me a sleight of hand.
Natural 1.
Darn it. Ugh.
So should I roll a sleight of hand still?
So Cornelia, you slide down a little bit off this rope, and you start to cast your mage hand when you guys hear, and the rope snaps, and Cornelia
And I
just
will.
goes shoo, falling
I will
down
cast
into the pit.
Featherfall immediately as the rope snaps, and I'm going to throw a feather into the air. It's going to burst and turn into butterflies, and then swarm around Cornelia and slow her down as
Okay,
she's falling.
and you guys can see with Trust's light down there that Cornelia just kind of floats down
Can I do
And
the
land.
split
You can-
bloop,
to catch
into
myself?
the bucket,
Well, okay.
floating on the water. You're kind of just floating on this bucket, and it's thrashing about because there's just these feet kicking still.
I go, whelp, and I jump in and like try to like slide down very quickly with my feet.
You
and
Okay,
my
got-
hands.
roll me
Oh.
an athletics check.
Why are we all okay? Well,
She won't be able to get back up.
I got a 14 on that perception, by the way.
A 14. You're listening out, and it's hard to tell anything nuanced because of all the thrashing and what's happening at the well. But you listen to the forest, and you don't hear anything coming from the mist or the forest or that little cottage. Nothing.
Just feet.
Yeah.
So is that acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics.
Okay, 14 plus 3, 17.
A 17. That's enough. You shimmy your way down there. Cornelia is there with the rope in hand.
I just grab the rope and then I shimmy back up to where she would have been had it not broken. If that makes sense?
Yeah, because the rope that broke was the one with the bucket on it. Because she has the other rope that she was going to tie to the feet of the skeleton.
Oh, I thought that she was in the bucket.
Yeah, the bucket snapped and it fell. The rope she was holding fell, so the bucket fell all the way down to the bottom.
Which she is in, so I'm going to grab the bucket back up.
You're going to grab
Does
the
that make
bucket?
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
With me in it.
with her in it.
Oh, okay.
Back up.
And then Cornelia's also got another rope in her hand.
Correct.
And then I'm gonna hopefully mage hand tie it to the skeleton.
Okay,
'Cause that's the one I'm
roll a
gonna-
sleight of hand.
yeah.
What did you get for your sleight of hand earlier?
Well, I didn't roll it yet, so that can be
Okay.
2 for earlier, and then I'll re-roll. No, I'll take the 2. I'm kidding. Well, a 2 or a 4, whatever you want to do, and then a sleight of hand plus 6. So it's
So you try and tie this rope, and it's just not. It's not working just because there's so much thrashing going on down here. It's very, very difficult to tie it.
we're gonna have to do this by hand, I think, pup.
Are you sure?
I mean, I could try again, but yeah, can I try again? Actually, do I still have the rope?
Well, the rope is now like kind of twisted
how's
up in
that?
the,
It is,
in the
right?
feet, right? So
Yeah,
you might have to
so
like
it's
either
down there.
you got to try something maybe different, or to try and get him to stop thrashing, or
If I bring you down, what if you just grabbed his foot? What if you tickled his foot? Want to see if he's ticklish?
I can maybe do that right now.
Why
even
are you
with my
laughing? I'm
mage
being
hand.
serious.
See
You gonna
this
try and
scene up there?
tickle the feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to tickle his foot.
So you gotta just move over.
I'll
Roll another
request
sleight of
it.
hand because these feet are
Feet down.
thrashing, and you're in like you're just kind of in a bucket that Pup's holding.
21.
So you managed to get like a good tickle on the
It's
feet, which
speaking my
you're like,
language.
this is fantastic tickling, and the feet are already thrashing. It's hard to tell if it's effective or not because the feet are thrashing already.
I think
Oh
it's
my gosh, you're
working.
feeling him. Yeah, you're getting it. Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
What are you both doing down there? Just tie it around
Tickling him.
his feet.
We're trying.
We're trying to make him comfortable.
Stop messing around.
Everything around.
All right, bring me down slowly. Pup.
Don't drink the water.
I can hear you.
I'm lowering you down as I'm complaining.
He's turning into a Dresden, huh? Now that Dresden's not around, talking
Wait, no,
very
that sounds too much like trust. His
And
is
Pup,
more annoying.
you're still suspended,
hmm
like all the way out. Okay.
Yeah, well, I have like this, like my arm and my legs out on the walls.
Well, it's
I assume-
almost 5 feet across, so you're like
Yeah.
straight.
Oh.
You have to
Got
be
it.
straight. So you have
Well-
one hand. You have one arm. You can still like maneuver.
Okay.
Up and down
Just
and
for
stuff.
like ease, while I'm down there, just if she starts to get too heavy, I'm gonna turn myself into the 6 foot tall dude.
Okay, yeah, and that helps.
Make it
You
a
kind of
little
make
easier.
you make like a bridge
Mhm.
with your body, which helps. Okay.
All right.
So
Are
you
you-
lower Cornelia down. What are you doing,
Mhm.
Cornelia?
Yeah. And I'm gonna, since I probably have 2 hands, I'm gonna take the rope and try to tie the rope around the thrashing.
Okay. Roll another sleight of hands.
Another dice? No, I'm gonna take the odds.
You
you
got this. Come
That's a
on.
9. 15.
Okay. This time there's enough of the feet tangled in the back of the rope already that you can easily kind of just like wrap it around, and then the feet kind of go together, and almost like a dolphin tail starts whipping back and forth.
We
you
got
feel-
him. We got him. Take us up.
You feel it kind of pulling pretty hard.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Pup, how are you going to get back up? Because you're
Just climb
holding
up.
you're holding Cornelia in one hand, right?
And Cornelia's holding the rope to the skeleton.
Yes.
And I assume
I mean-
skeleton weighs bones, so it can't be too much more than Cornelia.
Yeah, but you have one hand that you're using to hold. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna fist it against the wall with
fisting it with
Mhm.
All right. Roll
like
a
this, like fist it and then hand, right?
yeah.
Against
Roll
the
another
wall.
athletics check, but it's disadvantage because you're holding Cornelia in one hand and the skeleton with one arm while trying to climb
Put
up.
me on your back.
Do you want to go on my back? Would that make this easier for you?
Maybe for you too, so you can use both your hands.
Yeah. Climb on my back.
Okay, Cornelia, you climb up onto Pup's back. You kind of have the rope
the rope.
tied up. Yeah, and Pup, it's much easier to climb with
And
a
I'm
free
really
hand.
like,
Yeah. So roll me a normal athletics then.
16 plus 3, 19.
All right. Pup, you managed to. It's slow because
Mhm.
it's not that like either Cornelia or the skeleton are very heavy. It's just that like it's already a hard task
Yeah.
made harder. But you managed to shimmy your way back up, and you guys all up top can see this happening. And Pup, just sweating bullets, you finally crest the top of this thing and are able to pull yourself back up as Cornelia lifts this skeleton. And surprisingly, once the skeleton had left the water, it just went completely limp.
Oh.
Are you guys just gonna pull it out of the well?
I mean,
Joey?
Hey, Skelly. Can you
No
wiggle it
response.
around a little bit?
It stopped
Yeah.
moving just entirely.
You wiggle around and it just clatters against the wall, just
I'm just gonna
completely
like
lifeless.
bring it up really slowly.
Okay. You
Do
lift
I
it up.
feel
and
anything?
roll.
Ground.
Do I feel different being in the water at all? Is it the water that?
Mm-mm. The water seemed clear and clean, for the most part.
All right.
And you guys kind of drag his body out, and it's weird because its joints aren't connected by anything, really, but somehow there's a force holding them together. And you kind of pull up this lifeless body as it scrapes against the wall and just kind of onto the floor, not moving.
Well, Pup, you were right. It's it doesn't have any skin. It's definitely a
Just
skeleton.
own it.
Yeah.
He's a
Skeleton.
skeleton. Whoa.
It was kicking around, right? I mean, I heard it. It's it doesn't seem to be moving now. What happened? Did it
Come on.
drown?
Slap him where his cheeks would have been. Pop, 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 pop.
Okay, yeah, and the skull itself just kind of goes back and forth, and the jaw just kind of rattles in place.
We try tickling him again.
Okay. You sort of tickle him, and the second you touch its feet, you just hear this.
Yeah, cover. Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah.
How is it making
Ouch.
these sounds if it doesn't have anything to make these sounds?
I don't know.
Great question.
Magic.
Magic. All right.
I want to
We
start
mean
playing
you
a
no
lullaby.
harm.
I'm gonna
He's-
start playing a
We
lullaby.
saved you.
Can I like
And
take
it's hard
over
to tell because it has no
Rezik
expressions basically on
and
its
like
face.
I like start petting it. I
Yeah.
tried to be therapy dog.
Hey, buddy.
And it all of a sudden an arm shoots up. The forest! And instantly starts
What?
to try and crawl away from you. Its feet still tied, starts clawing the ground.
I'll look
scraping
where he
its way.
pointed.
Yeah.
No,
There's
we're
no-
all
there's-
we're all
there's
surrounding
nothing.
it. Like
Yeah, there's nothing
all
there.
surrounding
And
it, so, like-
it's just like clawing its way into the grass, just pulling its
No,
body
no, no.
very slowly across the
President and I
ground.
would have already been like push it against the well, and we're holding our hands against its mouth, and then Pup went over there and started kind of giving it some pets.
Okay,
but
yeah, and then-
we're holding
and then-
it. We're holding it down.
As you held it, its body just goes completely slack
Aw.
again.
Oh my god, can you stop pretending? You're
John.
pretending. I can tell because I pretend.
We're friends. We're friends. We're nice.
I pick up a straw and I.
Friends? You're friends?
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. You're back
Friends.
suddenly. Hi. Hello.
You want to be
Friends.
friends?
And it kind of looks at you, Trust. Cocks its head. I've never seen you before.
We're new.
New friends.
New friends.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Why?
Because I don't know you. How could you be a friend?
Well, we're meeting you now. And we'd like to be your friend.
Ah, you'd like to be my friend. Well, if you'd like to apply, go ahead. Give me your best
Where-
pitch.
You would, I think, like our friend Fitz a lot.
Fitz.
Yeah.
I've never met a Fitz.
You
Do
might.
you want to meet one?
I don't know. Are they scary?
No.
No.
Then
definitely not.
absolutely. I would love to meet a Fitz.
Do you think that we're scary?
Are you going to eat me?
No.
What to eat?
And as long as you stop screaming and trying to run away, we'll let you go.
Ah, yes. Yes, let me go.
Just want to talk to you. Are you going to actually... Well, okay. I feel like they're going to run away again. What's your name?
And it kind of looks away. Bill. Bill. No, Steve. Wilson. Jackson. Bill. Yes, Bill.
All right, we landed on one. All right, Bill. All right.
Or Steve.
It's not Jackson.
Jackson. I will contemplate this.
All right.
And we
Um,
call you.
Bill Steve?
Bill Steve.
Did
No.
we call you Billy Bones?
Bones. Billy
Yeah.
Bones. What?
Yeah.
Scaly Steve.
I don't get
Just
it.
trying to figure out what to call you, mate.
You don't get it? You don't get why? You don't get the bones thing?
The bones thing? Whoa.
Yeah.
Why would I... What bones?
Okay.
Your bones.
Maybe
I
maybe,
like
I
elbow
have
thrust.
bones.
maybe don't mention that.
Do you have skin?
What? Of course I have skin.
Hmm.
Of
Bill,
course.
Can I
How
touch-
long have you
can I
been in
touch
this
his bones?
forest?
Do I have skin?
Longer than I remember. I've been in here all my life. I think.
Does he think I have skin?
I don't have many
Oh.
memories from very long ago. I just live here and survive here. Of
Is this your
course, just
house?
like anyone else. Of course this is my house.
That's a nice house.
Oh,
Well,
lovely
thank you.
house. Yeah.
I think I
Are
built
you
it
needing
myself.
any repairs?
You think you built it yourself?
Repairs? What do you mean?
What's
Needs
it
a
look?
new roof.
Well,
Yeah, what does it look like to
possibly.
you?
Have you ever built a roof before? Takes a very long time.
Does anyone live with you, mate?
Live with me. Why would I want to live with anyone else?
Well, you know, people do that sometimes. It's not an uncommon question.
Ah, well, in that case, yes.
Okay.
Right.
Who do you live with?
Oh, I don't know. You said it.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are you surviving from? Is it dangerous here?
What? Danger? Where? Where?
No, I'm asking you if it is. You
Why would I
seem
know?
scared of something.
I'm scared of you.
'Cause you
You're
live
going to
here.
eat me.
No,
Why do
why
you-
would we eat you? Do things in this forest eat other things a lot?
Well, I assume so. It's a forest.
Okay.
What about the way we look makes you think we're gonna eat you?
You look like a dog.
Dogs don't eat people usually.
Oh, yes, they do.
Up is
Right.
like a tall 6-foot person.
I've never eaten the people.
You've never eaten a people.
No.
Ah, well then. And turns to you, Rezik. Is she lying?
No, never eaten a person. Not on the menu.
Oh, he's not lying. Oh, well then. I guess I have nothing to be afraid of.
Of course not.
Well,
all right,
kindly release me, and we will be on our ways.
We?
Yes, you said there was others that lived here.
Oh, right.
You
Yes.
did.
Okay, well, Billy, where do you want to go so bad? Are you in a hurry to get to an appointment?
I don't know.
Are you late for something?
Do you know anything?
Of course I know things. I know many things. I was well educated.
What do you know?
Ugly little thing, calling me uneducated.
Okay, first of all, shut up.
Bonk.
Second of all, where were you educated?
Where were you educated? Why was anyone educated?
I mean, these guys educated me.
Well, really, you're the teacher here, pup. Right? So, you taught us.
That's true.
Yes,
I'm a
Professor
teacher.
Pup.
Yeah.
But I was educated in Capital City, actually. I worked for the commission there. Do you remember at all
City.
where you... Yeah, where do you hail from?
Capital City.
Here? Or... Ring a
I'm
bell?
from Capital City, of course.
Of course.
No, you're from Adgarad, aren't you?
Adgarad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Okay, so he has no information, but we could try to follow this guy maybe in the morning and see where he goes.
Yeah, I agree. Got to kind of try to figure out why this whole situation's happening. Seems like a pretty good idea. No offense, Mr. Skeleton. Just having a conversation among ourselves.
Mr. Skeleton.
Yep. Sorry, Billy. Billy Bones.
Billy.
Apologies.
Yes.
Bones.
Yeah,
All right,
that's your
so
name.
let's go ahead and...
Yes.
You don't remember that's your name?
And you see
I'm
him
being mean.
kind of look down. I do seem to be made of bones.
Yeah, that was something we all kind of noticed. We were
I'm-
sort of surprised that you didn't actually.
I'm made of
at first.
bones.
Yeah.
We kind of thought that you were
Correct.
going to eat us.
Yes.
Bones? Eat you?
Yeah.
Why am I made of bones?
Your guess is as good as ours.
We can help you figure it out. Where do you go after you go to the well?
The well.
Where we just pulled you out from.
He kind of just goes, his head cocks into a weird space and just starts looking around. Back and forth and then down at his hands and then up and then back and forth. I don't know. Because apparently I'm made of bones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, if we were to release you, what would you do right now?
Oh, I don't know. You said you're my friends, right?
To the end.
Yes, you're dear friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Known you for a really long time now.
Oh, a very long time. Indeed.
Hmm?
We go many adventures together.
We have.
Definitely.
Yes.
You and I, Billy, go way back.
Such a shame.
Oh.
Such a shame.
You're from Caravella Town.
Yes.
You are
Caravella
from a
Town.
noble family in Caravella Town, aren't you?
Ah, yes. And you too are from Caravella Town, where we had those adventures, right? But now
Right.
I'm made of bones. That's. And you're my friend.
Yes, of course.
You're my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know I haven't.
Is he wearing any clothes, by the way, at all, or is this only skeleton?
Completely just a skeleton, yeah.
Okay.
And he looks up at you, Rezek, specifically, and his head turns at almost an unnatural angle, turning all the way around just to look at you straight on, even though you're holding his body down. You're my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yes.
I will lose you,
I would feel sad.
An eye for you.
I haven't felt in a long time.
Sorry to hear that.
I should like to feel again.
Of course, of course. We'll make sure that you feel once more.
But because I'm made of bones, I cannot feel. So
But you shouldn't be able to talk, and you can, so you probably can feel too.
What's the last thing you remember feeling?
and he kind of looks at you, pup. His head now just swiveling. 360 on his spine. I can only feel and he looks up at you and this you notice there's a shadow inside this skull, a darkness to his eyes, and it just gets a little bit darker and darker, and you see this darkness start to form inside of him, and then a snarl comes out of his mouth and he starts to thrash, and you notice his hands, these claws, and he just starts to scream, I want to feel, and starts scratching at your
Billy?
hands and ripping at you.
Back
Roll
into the well?
initiative.
Oh, dang it. Dang it,
Dang it,
Billy.
Billy!
Too late to throw him
Come
back in the
on.
well then. Okay.
11.
1. Oh, plus
14.
so I have 3.
10.
Rezik. And
Is this really one of
Kelwise,
the
what did you get?
characters,
14.
What was that?
Bobby?
Huh?
Were you making up a real name? Like, is that really someone named Billy was missing?
Oh, no. But I think that, because the story is that they have this festival where they send out some of the nobles, kids to go out and adventure to Darthwood. So this is probably, and he has kind of a noble accent. So
Trust.
I would
What did you
assume.
get?
Noble.
Or Daye?
11.
Noble.
11. That was just better than Rezik. You were 10.
Yeah. Oh,
And then Pup, what did you get?
I got a 17.
17. And Cornelia, you were at the very end. This guy just starts thrashing. His bones start vibrating violently, and you start to hear shrieks, almost different voices, shrieks coming out of its mouth, its eyes, from all over the place as it just starts to vibrate, and its bones almost start to move unnaturally. Who's holding him? You and Dresden were holding him?
Yeah.
Roll a athletics check to try and hold on as he starts to just violently move about.
I got that's a 10. Sorry.
It's a 10. So as he starts to vibrate and move in all kinds of different ways, that one of his bones of his rib cage juts out at you, knocks you back. Dresden, the same thing. And he stands up all crooked, starts to move in weird, very violent ways, looking at you. And you hear this whisper, I would be so sad to lose my friends. And he pounces at you, Rezik. His hands now, you notice maybe for the first time that his bones are not necessarily sharp, but they're jagged from just probably clawing and moving about. And he just starts to claw at your face with both hands. You manage to grab both of his arms and hold him as he falls on top of you. Just start clawing like crazy, scraping at your face. And he doesn't actually get to you, but he's now clawing at you. Pup.
Is there like any of that rope still on the ground
Uh,
around him? Is it even like feasible for me to
feet-
try to like
his
tie him
feet
up?
were tied to the rope.
Yeah.
And they're
Are they
still kind
still?
of tied together. Yeah.
I just wrote
But like, is
Yeah.
it holding or not? Does it
It's
look like it's holding or
for
not?
now. It's weird because the bones are moving in strange unnatural ways. It's almost like the joints are disconnecting and reconnecting, and sometimes not in the same position they were in.
I want to help you out, man, but you're kind of acting crazy right now.
And I want to make an unlethal strike on him.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Non-lethal.
And he's on the ground, so you'd get advantage
This
on
with
this.
my bow. My bow
Okay.
staff. Quarter staff. 19.
A 19, you hit. Roll damage.
Nice.
7.
A 7. So you manage to smack this thing, and its head goes clunk off, and it cracks its skull a little bit, and a little bit of its vertebrae goes flying off, and it's still
Nice.
clawing at Rezik's face.
I'm going to bonus action unarmed strike it.
Okay.
Again, still non-lethal.
Where are you attacking this thing now?
So his head is gone. I bopped him on the head.
Yeah.
I want to do like a freaking chop at its arm.
Okay. Roll
One of the
attack.
ones that are clawing at my buddies. This whole time, I'm just gonna be like, I really don't want to hurt you. Like, come on, I thought we were friends. This is a 10 to hit.
A 10. 10 still hits.
Oh my god. Okay.
Roll damage.
5.
So 5 damage. You swipe at its arm, and you see the bone in its arm crack off. And Rezik, you don't no longer feel the skeleton pushing down at you, but there's a claw right in front of your face, still going like this, and then one arm, and the thing is clawing at you. That's its
Oh
other
my
arm.
god!
Anything else, pup?
And then I'm gonna if I leave, am I within opportunity attack?
Well, I mean, it's kind of on the ground being held by Rezik. It's one arm, 2 arms are being held, and it's
Okay, then
feet are tied
I'm
together.
who's around me right now? Is it like
Everyone's kind of
Cornelia
within
or
the area.
everyone's around?
Yeah.
Are they like grouped up? I want to stand like in front of someone to block them from this.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of just get in a defensive position in between.
Yeah, like in front of. I'm like standing between my friends and this creature.
Okay.
I'm like
Cool.
like
Uh,
a Jurassic World like. With
Yeah. All right. Kelwise.
Up, I can't see.
Let me do my legs.
like tippy toes so you can see under.
Billy, no, it's not worth it. Okay, so his legs, one or both legs are tied up.
They were both tied together. So the shins are kind of like locked together, and there's feet just kind of clawing. And you notice that head that had cracked, that pup had knocked off, it's kind of almost shaking. Its jaw still chomping back and forth, almost as if it's trying to move towards you to bite you.
Okay, the rope that's connected to its legs is trailing off in our direction, correct? It's like, because it's our rope, so we have like a coil of it, and it's toward us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
If the well, sorry, I need to get some specifics before I can tell you what my move is. The well is round, but is there any structure above it? Like
There's like a
protect it?
yeah. There was like a little wooden scaffolding that was holding up the rope. It was old, but it's still there.
Okay. I want to grab the rope that his legs are connected to. I want to throw it kind of over the scaffolding and grab it and start running to try to hoist the skeleton basically up into the air, or at least upend it so that it goes, feet up.
Okay, perfect. Roll a survival
Nice.
check to try and throw that rope over.
16.
16. So you throw it over that little loop, you grab it, and you start to run and hoist them up. And you start, Rezik, you start to feel him drag, and then you hear a snapping sound, and his legs go up on that rope. And he's no longer attached to his legs. Or at least the knees have broken off. And now,
No, Billy!
Rezik, you start to feel
Sorry
his
about your
legs
legs.
start to kick at you. And they're just hitting your shins and your knees.
Get it off
So
me!
Kelwise, you've hoisted up
Oh.
his feet and his shins up on the thing. Trust, it's your turn.
All right. I'm just gonna vicious mockery it.
Okay.
Nice.
Love it. I'll say, "Oi, you stinking bag of bones! We was just trying to help you. What gives? You just rattling all around. Absolutely conceivable." I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry.
Okay. You scream that at it, and you hear the head start to shriek out, and then it starts to laugh and almost giggle. And you hear pain, more sadness and pain. Give it to me. And then the head is now just cracking its jaw. Its teeth are starting to shatter on their own mouth as it laughs viciously.
Oh my god.
Anything else?
Ugh.
Daye, anything else you want to do?
No.
Yeah, so you vicious mockery and you
Look
feel
on
it.
horrified.
You
I don't
feel
know.
it deep. Like you feel your spell take purchase, and it seems to just fuel this being.
Oh, no.
You start to feel it fueled on.
Oh, it likes pain. I don't know how to fight it.
Rezik, you're on the ground. You've got one hand just clawing at you and another arm trying to push down into your face, almost gouging for your eyes with its fingers.
Oh god. Ooh. Okay. I am going to. I don't know if it's worth that, but that just sounds really scary. I'm fucking scared. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cast Misty Step because I'm freaking out, and I am going to say, "Lee, go!" And I'm going to like you just see me kind of like slowly like kind of shimmer, almost like I turn into like a watercolor painting, and then slowly kind of just disappear, and then I'm suddenly like behind you guys, like 30 feet.
Okay. And the skeleton falls to the ground. Its arm that you knocked off, that little segment, connects to its shoulder, and it starts to crawl towards the nearest person. Pup, you'd probably be the next nearest person. But Cornelia, Rezik, anything else you want to do?
Yeah, that was a bonus action, so I could still cast a. Well, no, it has. Well, it's like if it's a cantrip, it has to be can it be an action cantrip or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can cast a cantrip.
Then I will cast Firebolt at the body.
Okay. Roll an attack.
So I'll go Incento and I'll toss a bolt of fire at it.
What if we
Okay.
didn't kill it?
Ugh, I know, right? But I don't know. I don't. This is freaking me out.
What if we did?
Should we pour more water on it? No.
Spell attack. Sorry, ranged spell attacks. That would
I do
be
not like
7.
water.
If you're gonna hit it with
so
lightning,
that-
then yeah.
That is a 15.
15. You hit with the firebolt. Roll damage.
Great. Okay.
Firebolt. I guess not with Firebolt.
1d10.
Oh, with fire.
Fire and water.
That is an 8
Oh.
fire damage.
8. So you shoot this right into the rib cage, and you start to see the bones sizzle in this mist of steams of smoke, and almost black soot starts to rise up off this creature's body, and it starts to shake a little bit, and then continues its headless crawl towards Pup, arms flailing, and it's almost like the closest thing you've ever seen is like a really upset horse that is just bucking back and forth, just going in a wild frenzy, and this thing is just wildly grabbing the ground and throwing itself with all of its effort in Pup's direction.
Just a question for you, Jaymes. Did the fire seem to hurt it, or did it seem to kind of take that in
seem
too?
to have. It didn't necessarily take it in. The bones seem to be charred and brittle
Okay.
now.
Okay.
And so, but it's still not stopping. It's just moving towards Pup, and Pup, it jumps at you, almost like doing the worm, I guess. And it jumps out at you with its claws and its little arm, and it swipes at your legs with its hands.
No.
And you manage to easily just kind of dodge out of the way. It can't move very fast like this. But you start to notice its head just starts to roll ever so slightly as if it's being dragged towards the main body. Just slowly, just along the ground as it's still just laughing at your direction, Trust. Screaming for more. Pup, you're up.
I would like to. You said the head was near me.
Yeah, the head's starting to slide as it laughs and cackles.
I'd like to pick it up and try to throw it into the well.
Oh.
Nice. Roll a
Basketball check.
roll a athletics.
Swish.
15.
A
12
15.
plus 3.
You throw it, and then the head, shoo, you hear that laughing kind of echo through and down and down and gone. That body still violently scratching its way towards you, trying to tear at the flesh of your legs. Anything else?
Yeah, do I need to have attack to do a bonus action unarmed strike?
I'll give you a bonus action.
When you use the attack action with arm strike or a monk weapon, you're just gonna give it to me?
Sure.
I'll take it. Yeah, I want to unlethally. One of its arms is gone, right?
Well,
Or did
yeah,
it reattach it?
it's just the bone here is gone, so now it's like a one segment arm. It would be as if the hand is just connected. No, the elbow would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take the other hand off again, non-lethally.
Okay. So you're gonna like punch its hand?
I'm like really just trying to dismember it so we can take it apart and have a nice conversation with it as it's taken apart.
Okay. Yeah. So attack. Roll an attack.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
All right.
Roll damage.
Roll this non-lethal damage. Alright, I'm straight. D4. I rolled a 2, so that's 4 plus 3. Is a 7.
Okay, so you managed to hit right on the top of its bony hand, and the bones here shatter, and its fingers just kind of go off in all these different directions.
Okay. That seems pretty effective.
And those of you watching notice that the fingers themselves are still kind of moving ever so slightly. And there's this broken pile of bones where the hand used to be, and its arm still not attached anymore. The arm still flailing like a bludgeon at you. Kelwise, you've got these legs up. You're holding this.
Yeah, I'll let those also drop into the well, I suppose.
Okay.
Just
yeah, you just let the
that
rope go and shoot.
And the head's in there too, right?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna freeze the water in the well.
Well, the well is like 35 feet. The water itself is like 35 feet down.
Dang.
What's the
I
range
can
of your
dangle
spell?
you by your feet. Does that
I
get
don't
you
know.
closer?
I have
What is it?
it can't be more than 20 feet, I would imagine.
Shape water? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, it's shape
I think
water.
it's usually 30.
It's 30 feet. So if you dangle down a little bit, you could probably freeze the water.
Down.
Oh,
I should probably not be the one to do that.
Dresden's
take
there.
that
Dresden do
risk.
it.
If you can
Yeah,
ask Dresden. Dresden can help you out with that. So
Dresden, help me out.
Yeah, Dresden manages to pick you up and then hoist you down by your hand into the well. Pretty far.
Yeah.
And,
And I'll just
you manage to
freeze the
cast you freeze the water. And it's hard to tell. You didn't know if there was any thrashing or not, but the water itself and cracks and just holds still. And you notice it's just water, and Dresden picks you back up and out of the well.
Thanks, buddy.
Teamwork.
Trust. It's your turn.
Okay. I don't really think I can do anything non-lethally that wouldn't just hurt it. I just kick at it? Try and dislodge some. Like,
Okay,
like,
roll
kick
it.
like aim. I'd
roll a-
probably I'll like punch at its knee because I'm probably the right height, and try and like punch out its like patella. Or something.
Well, the knees are
Nice,
pretty much
nice.
gone. It's just
Oh,
like
they're gone.
thigh bones, right? Because
Okay.
the shins basically from the knees down were pulled off by Kelwise. It's
Got
just
it.
like rib cage, one like segment of arm that's flailing
Right.
around, and then one hand is scraping, and then like 2 femurs.
Pop, I don't think we're gonna be able to talk to it anymore.
Maybe if we just pull it apart all separately
It is pulled apart.
and hold it down.
Okay, and I'll grab a hold of a femur, whatever leg part again, and just like pull.
All right, roll an athletics check.
If we each hold a piece.
Oh, it's a 4.
A 4. You for whatever reason you're holding on, and it like moves really hard in a direction, and you just pop off its femur from its body. And you're holding this femur, and the femur itself isn't moving, but you do feel a slight vibration coming from the bone you're holding.
Okay.
But it seems to be not moving anymore. So now it's just got.
Stop it! Stop it!
Okay, Rezik, it's your turn.
I'll start banging it on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, and
Okay,
you
so
start
what's
being on the
left of
ground,
this
and you
thing
notice
right
the bones themselves are old, and they're brittle, and you start banging it on the ground, and chips of the bones start to just crack off as you start hitting it on the
Ugh.
ground. Rezik, what are you doing?
All right, so what's left of this this guy?
It's got one femur, like a spine, a rib cage, like a pelvis area, and one arm, and then like a stub, and it's still scratching
God,
towards you.
this thing is durable. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna destroy this thing. Firebolt the spine
Okay,
and rib
roll an
cage.
attack.
I don't know. I mean, this thing is. What are we gonna do with this? This is body parts now. Can't talk to it. All right. I'm going to So it's gonna be 12.
12 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, cool. Okay. It's a 5 fire damage.
5 fire damage. So you hit it in the same spot that you hit it before, and the fire kind of sizzles the spine, and it cracks off from all of its violent movings, and now it's just the bottom half, the pelvis and the leg kind of moving haphazardly, not really doing anything, almost like a fish flopping out of water, and that one arm just kind of clawing out and swiping all over the place, and then dragging itself, moving. Anything else?
I'll just keep kind of backing up and like keeping a safe distance from any of the
Yeah.
body parts.
And it's
That's it.
weird and uncanny, but it seems to know where you are despite not having a head. Intuitively, it's still crawling straight towards you guys and swiping
Creepy.
out. Cornelia, it's your turn.
Can I try just taking a rock and smashing the hand?
Sure. Yeah. So you pick up a rock. Roll a d20 and add your strength.
8.
An 8. So Cornelia picks up this rock, goes over to it, and the thing's flailing about wildly. So you just kind of throw a rock at it, and it just lands nearby and rolls off. Yeah, that hand still kind of thrashing around. It's just a hand and like half of a torso, and then no head still. It brings us around to the thing. It lashes out. It still can't. It's lashing out at you, pup. But at this point, it just can't move fast enough to get to you. But it's your turn.
So it's like the torso that's coming at me, right? With like the.
It's like the upper part of the torso and one arm that's dragging its way towards you.
I want to try to grab it by the arm and like pin it down with like my knee.
Okay.
Onto the
Roll an
ground.
athletics check with advantage.
15 and a 12, so 18.
18. You
Nice.
easily manage to maneuver around, grab it by the wrist, and then pin it down with your knee.
And as I
And
pin
it's-
it down, I like make direct eye contact with Rezik and Dresden. And
You are not allowed to talk about what makes a soul worth it if you were willing to kill this creature that was just talking to us. It said it was
Pup
our
is
friend.
attacking us. Okay, moral dilemma later. Let's take care of it now and talk about it later,
No!
please. Yes. We are in the middle of a battlefield. Let's move on with this.
Nope.
What you want to interrogate the FEMA? What do you want to do with this, with the body?
I put its head in the well.
Okay,
We can talk to that.
then we'll talk to the head. Does it need to have its whole body to keep attacking us?
I don't know. Can we bring it back? You said yourself
Maybe.
that it might have been someone from that town.
Yeah. We'll talk about all these moral questions later. Let's take care of this body now. Destroy it, please. It's attacking everybody. And while this happens, I'm gonna just launch another Firebolt at one of the pieces of the body. Just like, we gotta get rid of this body.
Well,
It's attacking our friends.
Pup's pretty entangled in this.
Or the
thing.
other pieces of the body, like the hand or
The-
whatever else is
the
left.
pelvic bone. Okay. What is everyone else doing while this is going on? It's kind of like we're a little out of order now. We're out of combat order. Everyone's kind of free to do whatever they want. Pup's just kind of holding this thing down. The pelvic bone and the top of its spine, or the bottom of its spine, and that one femur are still kind of like just almost moving haphazardly. Can't really. It's very ineffectually.
Well, it seems like the immediate threat is gone. I mean, if we separate the other arm from the body, it effectively can't move. Unless it can reassemble itself, which would be
It
frightening.
did earlier.
Yeah, and it's very likely it could happen again. But while some stuff is frozen down there in the well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll be all right. Should we could try to unfreeze the head and have a conversation with it, or
Sure.
we could just throw all the rest of it down the well and leave. I don't know. I could take it or leave it at this point in time. Was this
No,
a real guy? I
I-
don't know.
It's important. I think this is important to Pup. Let's get the head back, but it doesn't need its body to be able to talk to us. It's just a magical skull now.
Yeah, only if we ever like want to bring it back so that it can go see its family or something. But you know,
Well, yes.
but only
you're right.
living human or like mortal souls are important, not souls of animals.
Okay,
or
you want
anything,
to do this
so-
right now? Seriously, Pup? All right, fine.
No,
I'll
wait.
no,
until,
you're right.
I'll wait
No, you're
until
right.
Justin's feeling better.
I should feel horrible because I'm trying to kill a skeleton is trying to kill all of our friends. I feel really bad for this thing. I don't know why you keep judging me constantly and keep telling me that I shouldn't judge anybody else. Why is that? It's a double standard. You
When
judge
did
me
you judge
constantly. What?
When did I judge you? I don't even know what that
Right
means.
now, you're judging me. You're telling me that I'm being bad because I'm killing the skeleton, but it's trying to attack our friends. What
I'm not
should I
telling
do?
you that you're
Just
being
let it
bad-
attack our
well-
friends?
I'm saying I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about this in general could be bad, and that's not fair.
There are a lot of things that are bad, Pup, but we can't avoid everything that we can possibly do to save everybody in the world. We have to save ourselves first and then worry about other things later.
Well, what makes us more important?
Because what do you mean what makes us? You should definitely have self-preservation installed in you. You lived in the forest.
Well, yeah, but if my family was being attacked, then I would put myself before them. To
But would you put this skeleton above your family, your pack of wolf family?
it said it was our friend. So does that not make it
Well-
family?
But earlier you said that you've learned not to just trust anything and everything because they say they're your friend or whatever.
And it did say it was our friend and then tried to attack us. And usually friends don't attack other friends.
Listen,
That's
I'm not
like
trying
this.
to. I didn't want to get into this at all. I'm not trying to judge you. You're a very good person, Pup, and I love
Again,
you.
this whole
I just don't
judging-
know why you keep
I don't
asking me
know-
why
I
I'm
don't
doing
understand
the
what that
wrong.
means. What do you mean keep asking you? This is the first time I ever brought it up.
You brought it up now. Earlier, you brought up me. You questioned that I for some reason you think that I'm putting over people over the souls of animals because I have no.
If you're
I
okay
guess,
with her
air-
taking a fish. I just said that maybe that was something to think about.
Yes. All right. Again, I don't want to do this. You're the one that is talking to me saying that I'm doing the wrong thing. So I'm just trying to let you know what I'm trying to do, and it's trying to save us first and then put whatever this thing is second, always. You always come first. That's my rule.
I don't like that.
Well, I'm sorry. That's the way that I live. We don't have to agree on it. But we can still love each other and move on and work together and not agree on
I
everything.
mean, we're
It's
here
fine.
now. So what are we gonna do with
exactly. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna destroy the body and then grab the skull and talk to it. If you're okay with that.
Do we need to destroy the body though, or just kind of separate it a little bit and make sure it doesn't come back together?
We can tie it
The
up
problem
on
is-
trees. Different
The problem is
trees.
that we could do that.
this?
Sure,
Wouldn't
why not?
it
I just
like,
don't
exist
see the.
forever in agony.
Yeah, I don't see the point
At
of
this
just tying
point,
it up to
it's too
trees.
late.
Well, maybe if we can talk to him and if we fix whatever is wrong, then maybe it'll work out.
Can I look for a thread? Does this creature have a thread at all?
Roll a d20.
4. Of course, this is like my one bad roll for today.
The one bad roll of the
Yeah.
attack.
You reach out into that deep pool of magic that you touch, that inner strength that lets you see all the fate in its plan for the destiny of everybody. And you look out, and it's a very dark miasma. There's no threads here. There's no plan here. There's no destiny here. Nothing is as it should be, and everything is as it is at the same time. You look up and you're reaching out, and you don't know if it's this fog. You don't know if it's what you are, but when you look up, even when you look up normally into the sky, you at least see the giant jumble, even if you can't ascertain where it's all going and what its plan is. There's nothing here. It's just as if you're in space, no man's land, in this
Oh my god.
almost godless area.
Pup, I'm so dumb. Pup, pull out the your music box and see if that calms the skeleton.
Give me a moment to get the head up from down below. I gotta unfreeze
Yeah,
the
let's
water
get
first of all.
let's
Yeah.
do that. So yeah, we'll work together to get this skull out of the well.
So that's what I'm
Pup,
doing.
this thing
I'll
is
unfreeze the water.
still wrestling with you. So you unfreeze the water. I mean, there's.
Yeah, I'm
how,
just
how
gonna-
are you?
any
how are you
other
gonna
body,
get
that's all
the skull out?
I want to retie the bucket onto the rope and go fishing.
Well, you dropped one rope. Do you have another rope? Because you dropped your rope
Don't
into
we have
the.
so
We
much
have
rope?
so
We
much
have
rope.
I know. I'm just making sure.
It's 30 feet. I mean, come on.
So you tie another
have
rope.
rope.
Said he bought like a lot of rope.
Yeah.
got
So you
hundreds
tie
of
another
feet of
rope,
That
and you go
is
fishing, and you pull out the skull, and the skull now inside it has this dark, almost aura exuding from it, almost sucking the mist into its head. And as you pull that head out, it starts snapping at you violently.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it in the bucket so it can't snap at anyone.
Yeah, it just starts thrashing at the water. And Cornelia, as all this is happening, you standing back a little bit, you start to notice that shattered mound of bone where Pup had destroyed the hand and just obliterated it. You start to see ever so slightly just fragments of that bone, like magnets, start to slowly knit themselves back together.
That's
very,
ridiculous.
very
It's
slowly.
indestructible. It just comes back together. Oh my god.
Can I put one of them
And-
in my pocket? One of the little shards?
And you put a shard in your pocket. It might just be a trick. You can't tell if it's Pup or not, but you hear clattering sounds. Far, far off, but distinctly different. And Rezik, that's when Eva pops out. And she's holding herself, not covered in ice like you were, but she's holding herself clearly cold. Something here. And she just kind of looks around. Rezik, I think they're coming. We should leave this place quickly.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's get going, everybody. Yeah.
Are we bringing the head in the bucket?
Yes. Need to interrogate.
Hey,
It sounds like maybe more skeleton people, possibly.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. What are we doing with the rest of Billy?
well,
Are we bringing him?
well,
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 I drop him in the well.
it's decided.
Okay, yeah, and you take the rest of his body and dump him into the well. And
maybe
you
we
grab the
should
head,
rephrase that.
and you
Take
you guys
back all
kind
our
of-
rope.
Okay, yeah, you get all the rope that you can back, with the exception of that was tied around the legs that you dropped in, and you guys head. Where are you guys heading now?
The opposite direction of where we hear skeletons coming from, probably.
Okay, and you
would
guys
be a good
you hear
bet.
Cornelia had heard them, and Eva had felt them coming from the same direction that he came from, the east. And so you guys had your camp to the west. So you guys kind of head back to your camp, where the unnamed mule is still kind of tied up. That bucket still sloshing, that head violently biting at you and biting at you.
Oh, we can pour the water out. He doesn't need to slosh around in there.
Okay, you pour the water out, and now it's just like it's just like bouncing around in this bucket.
Should we like wrap it up in something?
Yeah, so we can get some of this grass and throw the grass in there with it. Maybe it'll silence him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it down, Billy.
Billy Bones.
Billy's not talking though. She's just rattling.
He's just growling.
Wait, as we're going, can I put my box around the
Oh
around
yeah,
his head as we're going?
yes,
Your box? The
music
music
yeah,
box?
the music box. Because he was, you said the smoke was like going toward the head, correct?
Yeah, it's almost like the head itself was
Fog.
absorbing the light, and everything around it was just this endless abyss heading into the skull. And you open up your box, and the music shoots out around you, and it plays out, and you notice the head itself starts to twitch, angrily, agitated, and it just starts to flip around, no longer snapping at you, just twitching all around violently. And then you start to see little micro fractures as it's starting to whip back and forth so hard that it's now breaking itself against the inner confines of this, and it's just enraged, and you start to hear screams echoing out, almost the screams of a beast 10 times its size,
Oh my
just
gosh.
screaming out into the darkness.
regardless of whether or not this thing has a soul, this is good information to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a
Yeah.
theory. This is not what I thought would happen. But yeah, that's definitely a reaction. Do you want to close that and just preserve this for now, and we can
Yep.
hopefully talk to him later when he calms
Yeah.
down?
Pretty much
Yeah.
the opposite of what you were thinking would happen. It's pretty much the
Yes.
opposite. Yeah.
The exact
Yeah,
opposite.
So you close the box, and then the skull itself settles for a second, almost jumps up once, and then continues to start snapping at you.
I liked you better when you were a happier person.
Can I use my
Yeah.
mage hand and just like shove a sock in his mouth?
Nice.
Yeah, you shove a sock in its mouth, and
Put a sock in it.
it starts to wrench back and forth, slowly just kind of grind this sock to dust. But it'll take a while. As I said, it was like cracking its own teeth against its jaw earlier. It does that similar thing, just trying to rip this sock to pieces.
Give it a chew
Um,
Yeah,
toy.
what is
And you guys are kind of to the west, and you try and quiet Billy down. Dresden takes the bucket and just flips it upside down, and just sits on it to keep
Perfect.
it on the grass, and it quiets it down quite a bit with the sock. And you look out, and you start to hear bones moving in the distance. You can't really see into that clearing because you're far away now, but you start to hear just that slow moving scrape against the grass as it moves closer and closer and closer. And Dresden starts to feel the bucket just moving ever so slightly as he pushes it back, and then the bucket starts to slide. It seems like it's not even the skull, it's the bucket itself wants to return to the well, back to the way things were. As Dresden manages to keep the bucket from going, you can hear skeletons at the well moving about for maybe 20 minutes, and then they slowly walk off. And you hear multiple footsteps, multiple pairs of footsteps, maybe 3, 4, 5, and they move back to the east, back into the forest, as that skull still battering around underneath you. And then maybe 30, 40 minutes later, after the skull just stops.
I don't know much about magic, guys, but I think that well has something to do with all this.
I think it might be the whole thing. What if this whole place is like stuck in
A time
an
loop,
area
right?
of time? Because I feel like when I look around and I try to see the threads and fate, nothing exists here. Like nothing here is here. Almost is what it kind of feels like. So what if, because he realized that he was bones, he turned into something different? Because that's not what he's supposed to be when he was here, and the house was the house, and the well was the well the way it was.
So you're saying that everything here is kind of stuck in its own time. Does that
It
mean
could
that
be.
we're stuck in a time too?
I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah, I'm not
we
sure.
shouldn't fall asleep.
Well, no, we could definitely fall asleep. Let's
Maybe-
not.
Well, you
But
guys
that's
had
fine.
already rested once where you took a little snooze in this area,
Yeah,
and nothing seemed to happen.
But I mean, this area is completely just everything here has some kind of magic just flowing everywhere. So, and I think literally anything's possible. There could be a time loop. There could be anything right now. I don't know what it is, but
I wonder if it's a curse like that was, in that time, somebody cast a curse. And so anybody living in that time is now in the time loop. And so when we enter, if we try to disturb it, that's why people don't leave, because then they attack or something.
The other Dresden got out, didn't he?
Yeah.
We saw
Yeah.
it. We saw him other places.
That's
But
true.
then he disappeared quickly, right? You said? Like he went through a...
True.
like a
it was
portal or something?
Momentary thing.
As we're having this conversation, I just want to slowly put my hands around Rezik from his side.
I put my arm around Pup and I just give him a little bit of a hug. I'm not mad at you, dear. It's fine. I don't like to fight. Yep. You got it. All right.
Okay.
Well, all
by
the
way,
other
Jaymes, did you
creatures-
say that the bucket literally was animating and moving on its own? The bucket itself?
Yeah, the bucket was just moving in the direction of the well, ever so slightly.
Magnetism, right? Basically.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kinda-
like a really weak magnet.
Ooh, yeah. No, I think you guys are onto something. This place literally wants to stay the same.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my.
that's why Billy Bones was really upset when he found out that he was Bones.
Yeah.
And it's been so long, he doesn't remember his name. I wonder if that's because he's been multiple people, or it's just been so long that he can't remember. Because he hasn't said it to anybody. He hasn't seen anybody else. And so is it like an everyday thing? Because he kept splashing his face every day, or every however long?
Yeah, I feel like splashing yourself with water like that is a very alive thing to do. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. He was repeating a cycle because you
Yeah.
said earlier that you saw someone had gone there earlier as well. So he just kept going back and forth. Wow, that is a trip.
What remains to be seen is where the other part of the cycle is. So we know one half of it is this well, but where does every one or thing else go?
We could
Somewhere to
try
the east,
and
it seems.
sneak
We can try
follow
to
them.
follow the path, yeah.
I think we might have to. But
But now
If-
he's just calm in there. Why isn't he biting anymore? What does that mean for this whole thing?
yeah, is
Maybe
the
we took him too
skeleton
far away from his spot. Maybe we took him too far.
Or
Trust you
it's-
all. I think you're absolutely correct because he was trying to get back to the forest and was trying like it was very trying hard to get there. So obviously there's some kind of power. Like the Sun Dreamers were saying, they can't leave too far away from the Darthwoods or they eventually die.
maybe the well is
So-
the source of whatever power that they have. That's maybe what they
Or-
can't leave.
Maybe it's not the well. Maybe it's where he was before. Maybe the well is just also affected by it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I think Pop's right.
well, I think that seems kind of small.
Yeah, I don't think it's the well. I think it's just this place. I think maybe Cornelia's right, but maybe there's a curse on this place, and that was just a well that he visited once in a while, Billy.
Do you think because he went limp before, but maybe he was acting? But maybe
He seemed like he was acting for some reason. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
really bad actor.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
All right.
Well-
I'll observe from here.
It seems like maybe let's follow them
Yeah.
at a distance. We're going to want to literally keep our distance just in case, because this was complicated, and if we had more Billies around, it would be even more complicated.
Yeah. Just try not to
Unless-
disturb anybody.
Now we know that we just leave them. We
Yes,
just say,
we
"Oh,
don't
hello,
tell them.
goodbye."
Maybe
I mean,
don't
he was
even do
scared of
that.
us first, so I
Yeah.
mean, if they sees us, they'll probably just run away. Just don't go off talking about how they's just made of bones and stuff.
Or maybe they'll just react how they were when they were alive. So if we find an aggressive person, then maybe we'll find an aggressive
Ooh,
skeleton.
maybe Billy was a bit of a scaredy cat.
It was
Maybe.
a little baby.
But you said they get sent in as kids, right? This would be a really scary place to get sent as a kid, so I could
Yeah.
understand
like-
why you might be afraid.
Well, they might, and they might not have been like they're like young, like probably like either teens or in their 20s. Because the Sun Dreamers said that the Sun Dreamers are all like very they've been around for a long time, like 90 years, and they were young to them. So,
And you start to hear from under the bucket.
yeah.
Hello? I say it's dark in here. Hello? Anyone?
Shoot through the
How are
sock.
you feeling?
Feeling?
Oh, I
Um,
shouldn't have said that.
Blind. Blind? Have I gone blind? Oh dear, I'm blind. I'm blind. Oh god, oh god.
Hi,
Great
Billy.
Mayan, great Mayan, please help me. I've gone blind.
Wait,
Who?
great.
Mayan,
Ian.
the god of law. Mayan.
Does everyone everywhere believe in that, or is that only like a certain places thing? Because I don't know who that is.
Capital City, they believe in it. Caravella Town, they believe in it. Adgarad, they believe in a lot of different gods, I believe. I think. But yeah.
The Mayan would be well known everywhere, I would assume.
Pretty common.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well,
We need to try to have a conversation with Billy again. We need to see how
But
much
he
Billy
doesn't
remembers.
know anything. He doesn't have
That's the only problem. Is it
any
doesn't know anything. Yeah.
And if he doesn't remember anything that's already happened today, then that's interesting and
that's
important.
also information.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Billy.
And you hear crying just coming from the under the bucket.
Does he respond to Billy?
Doesn't seem to respond to Billy.
Jackson.
The crying continues. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Can you help me? I seem to have gone blind. I'm blind now. I can't see. And Dresden's
Yeah, we
still
should
got
turn him
the
around.
bucket on his head.
Dresden, turn him around.
Dresden kind of lifts the bucket off of his head. And Cornelia, your sock is torn to shreds. And the
Gave
skull,
him a stinky one.
the skull kind of rolls over. Oh! My Pandora's, you're huge! Oh my god! Oh my god! Giants! Giants! Giants!
Hi. Lift him here, and I'm just gonna hold the back of his head and make it so he feels like he's at height with us.
Unhand me!
Here we
Unhand
go.
me, you brute! You brute!
Cornelia, you hold him.
Sure,
There.
you got it. And I'm gonna, huh?
Cornelia's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
hold him up there.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna do it with my mage hand.
Oh. I'm floating, but I can see. This is very strange. Very strange indeed. Who are you people?
Hi, how are you doing today? How are you?
How am I?
Yes.
I feel. I don't know. I don't feel much of anything.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
It's another
do you
great
remember us?
day.
Yeah, I remember us from earlier.
Are you street urchins? Did I give you mine? Alms? Are you
Uh,
after
no.
alms? I shall give you alms. Just stop touching me.
What's an alm?
What's an alm?
You
don't even know how to
money.
Beg for
It's friendship coins.
money? This is all very
Oh.
weird. This is all very weird.
Oh. This is
Well,
very
that's fine.
weird.
Yeah, no, we just wanted to talk to you about Mayan and Pandarus. So you believe in both those gods, huh? That's pretty cool. Tell us more about that.
What do you mean, believe? It's common knowledge.
Oh yes, of course. It's very common. They all exist, and I also believe in them. Because I have faith in
You should
gods.
watch your tone, young man. The mind shall strike you down. Or follow us. For I'll come for you, agent of chaos.
I
Billy-
apologize. Sorry about that. I'll hold my tongue. Yeah, yep.
Billy,
Yes.
if I were to say to you, oh, you answered to Billy, that's awesome. If I were to say to you the word sun dreamers, what would your take on that be?
Sun dreamers.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do I believe him?
Interesting.
Roll an I'm sure. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, this guy's brain is like scrambled eggs right now, so it's tough, but it doesn't seem like he's lying about anything, at least from the tone of his voice.
Billy, I want you to think really hard about this, all right? Do you remember a Caravella Town and the Way of the Five festival? Remember that?
The Way of the Five. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this does sound like something I remember. Yes.
Oh, great. Great.
Who was there? It was me, and Beatrice, and Gul'dan, and no, maybe I can't remember.
That's okay. That's okay. So there were four of you. Oh, there were probably five of you, obviously. Okay. That's fine. Anything else, everybody?
You're muted for whatever reason, Daye, again.
What's your family name?
My
yeah.
family
What's
name?
that? What's your family name?
I don't remember my family name. Oh, yes, we were witch hunters. No. Who are you people? And why am I here?
Think it's time Billy takes a nap again, maybe?
Is there anything else you wanted to get out of him before you have him take a nap?
Does he know anything about Serenity or the person we're after?
Ventleys. Ventley. I think my name was Ventley.
Bentley?
No.
Ventley. Hi, Ventley.
Were they? Or were they not? I can't remember.
That's all right.
Were you my
Yeah,
companions?
that's okay. Yes, we are companions. Yep.
It would be a shame. Such a shame to lose you. Such a
No,
shame.
no.
Indeed.
Put him away.
And
Put
you
them
start to
away.
see this darkness start to appear in his
Nappy nap
eyes.
time.
As that's happening, can I quickly try to stop it with my? If I open my box, as like right as he says that, can I like
So you open
it,
your
see if it
music
stops
box,
that from happening?
and even before that happens, you open the box, and Cornelia, you immediately drop him as his head starts to vibrate. And he just starts to scream, this blood-curdling scream into the air. And he starts biting at you, screaming at you in obscenities and almost in languages you've never heard before. Desperate, just desperate to end this pain or anything that he's feeling. This endless amount of torturous stimulation, almost, as if his body just can't contain it, as his head starts to whip around, his jaw whips around and then cracks off of its face as the head just starts to rock up and down, almost trying to batter itself against the ground.
Keep
And
it going.
that's-
Maybe it's like an exorcism.
That's what I'm thinking. I'd rather have him live on in peace rather than stay here in agony with his body all torn apart.
And as this is happening, you hear something snap. And you start to hear rattling coming from 3, 4, 5 different spots all around you. And your dog's ears up
Oh, now
start to
they
move
notice.
all around. That unnamed mare stands up and starts to move back and forth unsteadily. And that's what we'll pick up next week.
Lovely.
Wow.
Okay.
Love that.
Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
Undead. Who like used to be
Anywho,
like the teacher.
Nope.
Okay, 6 clerics. Let's go.
6 clerics. All cleric party. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific, like as I said. But until then, I hope you all take care of yourselves and take care of each other and have the best possible week ever. And we will see you next time. Thank you everyone. And good night.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Monday.
Friday.